fine day in California.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Night Frenzy, the one show where everything is canon and the topics within more like a set of guidelines. Joining me today is my good buddy Chris Infinitel. How are those rooftop Koreas doing?
Oh, I'd say they're on target.
Stay on target. Oh, yes. But in general, how you doing, man?
I'm glad the week's over. Yeah,
Yeah. It's been pretty cold up here.
yeah.
It at one point during the night it got down to like -5. That was insane. It's still pretty freaking cold. It's like 19 here
Oof.
right now.
You see what hit Florida? Like 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, like wait, in Louisiana was getting snow. It's like
Yeah,
probably the first time some of those people have seen snow in their entire lives.
yeah. That's totally normal.
So that kind of reminds me of the story. So I live up here in Michigan where like 8 inches of snow are like whatever.
Yeah.
So my uncle was stationed down in Texas, and Texas got like this one bad blizzard this year where they got like 2 inches of snow, and some people wanted to drive out. So he was driving out. He was the only one on the highway. All right, and he got pulled over by a cop, and the cop said, "Sir, do you know that this highway shut down?" And my uncle said, "Officer, please look at my driver's license." He looked down, saw the Michigan driver's license, said, "All right, sir, you have a good day. Be safe," and then walked away.
Yeah. no, I just, yeah, it's, I mean, the fact that it's like from Texas all the way through Louisiana, that's just, yeah, they're not equipped to handle that stuff either. Like, there's no plows, there's no,
Yeah, Texas gets like a dusting of snow. They shut the state down. We're like, we can still see our golf balls.
yeah. Well, Michigan. I mean, like I'm in the frozen north here in New England. Like we're east to you, but like Michigan gets all that lake effect stuff. Like the only place worse off than Michigan is like upstate New York. Like because it comes through that lake.
Or other places like Chicago gets
Yeah.
Chicago gets a really bad lake effect. Some places like Milwaukee, Colorado, yeah, there are some bad spots. But yeah, let's go into some headlines. Shall we? We've got some whoppers.
Oh,
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
All right, and welcome to Headline Hysteria. We're talking about all the topics that are important, just not important enough for a full thing. So, Chris, you want to start off with the thing you mentioned in the pre-show?
Oh, the Unknown Nine.
Yeah.
At this point, guys, it's deliberate. Like Unknown Nine was this media campaign or cross media video game, comic book, TV show, web series, like all this stuff. And they didn't even have the game out. So it's like
They even had a lunchbox.
yeah, the kids love it, the flamethrower. But they got all this crap out, and like the game sold terribly because A, it was marketed poorly, and B, the content of the game was garbage. I mean, it was just a perfect storm of failure. And all these people that worked on this, the ones that didn't make these decisions, guess what? They're all laid off. More Americans, more Westerners added to the pool of unemployment.
Oh, but Marvel Rivals is looking pretty good though.
Yeah, like this is no longer a theory. Like it's so blatant now, guys. Like we have seen
it's a game theory.
Espionage. No, yeah. Well, I mean, like I didn't really have proof before, so I would always have to put an asterisk next to my assertions. But at this point, dude, look at the litany of games that have come out in the last like 5 years or so. Concord, Dustborn. Like these are all games that have used American taxpaying money or other like Western, European countries taxpaying money, and these games have bombed. And it's like not that they've like. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I think I'm going to follow up with then you say your thing first.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they like oh well, they were just a little bit under sales expectations. Like they got like a B grade or a C grade.
Mhm.
No, these games were colossal failures, and they continue this trend of wasting money. Sony lost, was it 200 million or 200 billion or something, like some sick amount of money for that stupid Concord game.
And that took 8 years to develop. Like that
Yeah.
at that point, that's like corporate welfare almost, like babysitting. You're paying $200 million just to babysit some developers.
Yeah. And dude, that's money they're not going to get back. And those are people out of work now. Like, meanwhile, and then out of nowhere, we get this massive crop up of all these Chinese, like, dude, there's no private businesses in communist China, okay? Every company is owned by the CCP. In order to do business with the CCP, or I'm sorry, in order to do business in China as a foreigner, like say you have like a property like Marvel or something and you want to push it through, well, you need to basically get an intermediary company. And that intermediary company is owned by the CCP.
Mm-hmm.
Guy, like, how many more games do we need? Like, I'm seeing all these like awesome looking Chinese games. They're like, look, boobs, like, yay. And it's like, yeah, that seems really convenient, guys.
They're dangling the keys.
Yeah, honeypotting. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about sabotage. Kind of transitioning over to our next topic here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like, that's a game where, like, honestly, they may not be like may not have any problems at all, but they're doing everything in their power to make you think they are. I'm sorry, they are acting guilty as frick.
Yeah.
The Kingdom Come Deliverance, I own it. It's a great game, but like Henry was like a straight male or whatever, so like all the stuff that we're hearing, we don't know. As of this stream, we don't know if anything is actually true or not. Is that correct, Chris?
I honestly, from what it's so hard to glean the nuggets of truth.
Well, the developers aren't really doing any better, because first it was like a trust me, bro, and then they still like, there will be like black people because of where kind of thing. Like, they did not do any favors.
Yeah.
But here's the problem though. They got bought by a company that is owned by Embracer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting that money there.
Well, did you see the screenshot? They had the screenshot with the Muslim guy who's like, the black Muslim guy in the middle of Eastern European whatever, and he's like, yes, and no one will accost you in my country, and we treat women better here. And it's like, really?
To be fair, a lot of Muslim countries in that time period actually did have better civil rights than some of the Eastern European stuff, but that's just neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a nugget of truth in there, but it's like, when they say better, they mean we only stoned her to death because she looked at the wrong, instead of doing it on a whim. Like, it's like,
oh god.
Yeah. But
the other thing I wanted to talk about, this will be our final headline, is a brief little thing about the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, so there's kind of been some leaks about the price, and here's basically my thing on it. If it's $400 or less, I'll buy it. Anything more, I'm going to be hesitant on, because the problem is, like, once you get to like $450, you might as well just buy a PS5 or an Xbox at that point.
Yeah. Or go all the way and just buy a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I mean, a used Steam Deck can be had. I mean, heck, I think that you can get like a refurbished Steam Deck OLED for like $550, 1 terabyte. Like, that's top of the line Steam Deck. Because obviously you got your Nintendo franchises, but there's only so much the Nintendo franchise can do. But at the end of the day, Nintendo has made their bread and butter of being the cheaper secondary console. It's like you have a PC and a Switch. You have an Xbox and a Switch. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you can't really have that be a secondary console when it's as much as it. And the other thing is, people often buy multiple for like, you know, like, oh, let's get it for my three children, you know.
Yeah.
And if it's so instead of selling 3, you'll just sell 1 maybe, or none at all.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like I haven't seen any reason to buy the Switch 2 yet. Like, you know, when Breath of the Wild was first announced before the announcement of the Switch, and they were showing it off, and I'm like, oh, I want that game. I gotta have that game. And then they announced it as a launch title for the Switch. I'm like, I'm gonna buy the Switch because I'm going to get the best version of that game on that platform. All they showed us, all they showed us was a Mario Kart 9 game, and I probably was a vertical slice, meaning that it wasn't actually real game footage. And it was like, this doesn't look any better than, you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So why would I spend 450, 500, whatever for this new platform when the game doesn't like graphics sell consoles, but I'm sorry, games sell consoles, but graphics justify the console itself. And I know people are like, oh, you know, realism or whatever. No, this has nothing to do with realism or whatever. But if the game can run perfectly fine on the original Switch hardware, what's the point of buying a Switch 2?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
You know, or at least at the very least, it looks like it could run on the original hardware.
I think a lot of it will depend on the direct on April 2nd. I love how they're doing it on April 2nd. Not
Yeah, yeah, very wise of them. Unlike Ubisoft, being mindful.
Like, just imagine they did an April 1st one, and it says Half-Life 3 is coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch 2.
Right. Oh, you guys, almost got me.
Yeah, but apparently stuff like Halo on the Switch, that is wow. If, like, that's a rumor, but honestly not far-fetched going where Microsoft wants to go.
Yeah,
that would be so wild though. Yeah, it's just like Halo on a Switch though, like, or Halo on PlayStation.
Well, that's the Sega route.
Yeah, it's like imagine you're a diehard Sega fan, and then you buy Sonic Adventure for the GameCube. Like, I imagine a lot of Sega fans felt so weird buying a Sonic game on a Nintendo console.
Yeah, I remember all those Mario and Sonic Olympics games. It's like, what the hell is this crap? These guys are hating each other. Why are they best friends?
Gosh, there's so much they could do with that concept of like Mario and Sonic. Like, I just want like a Mario and Sonic like RPG or something, like even like a tactical shooter game, like some sort of story of like those two franchises having to team up. Like,
yeah, like the Raving Rabbids.
Yeah, like that would be so cool.
Yeah. I know, 2 very rich properties too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. I look at what they're doing though with the Switch 2, and it's like, okay, so it's an incremental upgrade. You know, like it literally looks just like another. You know how they had like the OLED version of the Switch? I'm like, so this is just basically the same thing, but I can't use my old Joy-Cons. Okay, you know, like give me something, anything. Show me a game. Show me Metroid Prime 4 in like all its glory on this thing. You know.
Yeah, like we very well might be eating our words come April, but until then, we don't know.
Yeah.
Like they could show off a remastered version of Breath of the Wild that just looks amazing.
Yeah.
And if the rumors are to be believed that this is like PS4 Pro, Xbox Series S levels of power with DLSS.
Sorry.
You answer that?
No, I just muted it.
It's okay. Like that could be really interesting. Like, supposedly Cyberpunk is coming to Switch. Like, honestly, showing a Switch 2 running Cyberpunk would be wild. Yeah.
So I finally I got the collector's physical edition as a gift from somebody for the Xbox One.
Mhm.
I never took it out of the box because I was like, I saw the reviews,
Oh.
and like, this crap isn't even playable. Like, what the hell? So I finally took the plunge and got it for the PC when I got my new gaming PC. And
Mhm.
wow, that game is gorgeous, dude. Like that game, like even
Oh,
the computer can
wait
barely.
till you get the Phantom Liberty.
Yeah,
Like trust me, usually when I run that game on my PC, I can usually get about like 50-ish frames on like medium high settings. I go to the center of Dogtown, I'm getting like 30, 35 frames
yeah,
below 20 just because there's so much crap going on. We got analysts saying, ew, there's certain things you can pull off on various mediums. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking the Switch is going to cost $400. I've heard some stuff. Some people say 350. If it is, awesome. But I'm thinking 400 sounds the most realistic. 350 maybe. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't they have like a bundle too with like Mario Kart 9 to bring it to 450?
no, I heard it saw as high as 500, which
Ooh,
500 for a Switch, even for a Mario Kart bundle,
that
is
ain't
way too
happening.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not.
buying that.
E.g. headshot mid combat on the move when. Yeah. That's why like FPSs, I can't really play them on a controller. Like I can kind of play them on a PC though.
Yeah, yeah. Did you so you see that I had a Twitter thread that blew up, a lot of angry FPS console people, but like it's I don't know how it started, but basically I had posted a reply showing a peripheral that I had bought for my PS3 called the Frag Effects. It was by a company called Splitfish, and it was basically like a modified Wii nunchuck for your left hand, and then a mouse for your right hand.
Oh, that reminds me. The other like newest thing for the Switch 2 is like mouse
Yeah,
movement.
yeah.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Like if
That's
you
Yeah. Honestly, the only reason why I bought it is because I despise controllers for shooters. Like there are studies I can anatomically prove how that is an inferior input device for shooting.
well to see my problem is when I'm using like a mouse and keyboard, it's like I snap. I can just like snap
Yep. Point and
to
click.
where I want to
Yep.
go. Versus a controller, it's like I'm moving through molasses to get
And you
there.
have a variable speed, like it accelerates as it gets closer to the edge. So you like find yourself overcorrecting and then backtracking, and then yeah, and it's a very poor peripheral for that genre that was
Mm-hmm.
shoehorned onto it. And I know there's people that have adapted to it and everything, but that's like saying that I can use a hammer to drive a screw in. You can do it, but it's not the best way.
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, when Metroid Prime came out for the Wii, they had the nunchuck and the Wiimote, and that was the first time I ever played a console shooter that I enjoyed. I was like, "Oh my god, this is the optimal! Like, this is fun as hell."
And the thing is, low key first person shooters on the Wii were really good because of it. Because a lot of Wii games use that setup. You
Yep,
know.
that was fun. Yeah, and so these people in the thread were just like telling me how I'm zimming it. I guess there's a peripheral called a Zim, which is basically the same thing. Or it allows you to use a mouse and keyboard on a console because it does give you an unfair advantage. And my thing is I never played online console shooters because I'm not giving these guys monthly fee,
Mm-hmm.
monthly recurring whatever it is, like Xbox Live or any of that crap. So I only played it through single player games. Like I played through the Uncharted series with it. I played this game. It was called like Black Site Area 51. Like I never played the multiplayer. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, Sony realized that people could play with these superior input devices, and they ended up sending a patch to the PS3, and it nuked my frag effects. Just killed it.
Oh.
Yeah. So I hope Nintendo. I hope the speculation is true that these new. It would help also to justify why we're getting a new Joy-Con to begin with. But
Mm-hmm.
if the new Joy-Con can be used as a mouse, you just cornered the shooter market.
Yeah. And honestly, you open up so many other genres like point and click adventures, real-time strategy games. Like imagine they ported Microsoft ported Age of Empires,
Oh
Civilization.
God, League of Legends, yeah, like all the MOBAs,
What
yeah,
I'm excited for is I'm hoping they port Final Fantasy 14 to the Switch, because that's pretty money. That is a money printer right there if they do that.
yeah,
Like, because
yeah,
the Final Fantasy 14 crowd, I could totally see playing it on Nintendo Switch.
yeah, on the go, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can play it on the Steam Deck real easy, honestly.
Mm.
But
I
yeah.
I'm surprised. Like Nintendo, like I think they struck gold when they got the idea of a platform that can be both a mobile and a home thing. Like that has been a desire for a lot of mothers who have small kids that they're moving around a lot. Keep them
Yeah.
busy while they're in the car, and then when they're at home, plug it in the TV so you can supervise them. Like I don't understand why these other console, like why the PS6 or PS5 or whatever, or the Xbox. I mean, I guess I can as I'm talking myself through this, it's because it weakens, it compromises some of the hardware performance. But I think the trade-off of versatility and how you play was a huge advantage for Nintendo.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. Yeah, I definitely think that. I mean, but the other thing is, Nintendo up until that point was doing really well in the handheld market. And plus they were kind of like fighting a war on two fronts. Like they'd split their teams. Like they
Yep.
had the handheld games, and so now they had like more people working on one series of games, so they're gonna
Yep.
streamline everything. It was just honestly a perfect storm.
Yep.
And to answer your question, Angela,
SIM card.
or mobile Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi or Ethernet if it's plugged in.
Hmm.
Like I
Well,
think
do you
there's a
remember the
few
tablets?
MMOs. There's a few MMOs on the Switch. Like I know DC vs Online is, and
Yep.
like Warframe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, like the thing is you remember when the tablets were coming out and you could buy the Wi-Fi only version or the SIM card version?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just do that with a Switch?
That might be a little bit too much. Because they
Yeah.
tried to do that with the Vita and it didn't work.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That was a bad move.
Yeah, and like they tried to do that with. You notice how the iPads don't really offer that anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Like
it's
I think
because you can just use your phone as a anchor or whatever. Like
yeah, I think that was
hotspot.
kind of an experiment that didn't work. Because for most people, it's like, why should I pay an extra phone bill for just the tablet? And I think it's like you're right. Anyone who wants to do that probably has a mobile hotspot
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
uses their phone.
Dude, when I was in Tokyo, I rented this device that it was like a mobile hotspot, just a device. Like it wasn't a phone or anything. It was just the hotspot. Made me the life of the party for all the Americans who were like, "Oh my god, my phone works again." But like the thing was though is it was faster than what I had for landlines here in America. Like we were pulling down like 600 megabytes or megabits per second. Like that was insane at the time. That was 10 years ago.
I mean, Asian internet is no joke. I mean, imagine if you're in Seoul, Korea, you'd be getting like a gigabit down
Yeah. Yeah.
or terabyte. iPhone for hotspot is probably the way to. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, definitely. I mean, heck, this is like a crappy Android phone. It can do mobile hotspot. You
Yeah,
know.
there you go.
Yeah. So most phones have it on there anyway.
Man.
Crazy world we live in.
I just love the fact that Nintendo, like, the toy, the game studio that was always, or the console manufacturer that was always relegated as like the toy manufacturer or whatever, like every other console, like the cool kids, like Sega back in the day when they had the Genesis versus the toy Nintendo or whatever, that they now have like cornered the mobile / home market for this device that can do both. Like it's so funny watching Sony try to play catch up with their awful, like, here's our half-assed attempt at doing that. They had this
like literally they sawed in half a DualSense controller, stuck it onto a crappy Android tablet. Literally, they just glued it on.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, here's a PS Portal. We want $300."
It was so Frankenstein. You know, the R&D just was like, oh God, we got like a month to get this out. That was
Aimless got
awful.
a good question. I wonder if this talk is in connectivity with something Elon is. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of interested. Like, Starlink is kind of Elon's secret weapon for a lot of this
Dude,
stuff.
ubiquitous internet will make this world very small very quickly. And
I mean,
that's a
it
good
kind of
thing.
already has with like cell phones.
Well, yeah, but like you go to like African countries, like I'm talking like you're out in the bush, and or dude, hell, even here in Cow Hampshire, if I go north of Concord and I'm out where there's no civilization, my cell phone vanishes. Like it's no longer, So if there was this like array or this lattice network of these little Starlinks that were everywhere, and clearly Elon has illustrated that the cost, like they're not as cost prohibitive as we've been led to believe. So
I mean, the most expensive thing was getting those satellites up there, and he's already done it.
Yeah. So we have satellite based internet that's in an array around the globe. So somebody in Mozambique or somebody in northern New Hampshire could be streaming Netflix, or on social media talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see that as a good thing.
Have you seen some of the stories of like sailors getting caught where they put like a little Starlink thing on top of their Navy ship to get internet access, and they get in a lot of trouble for like oh my god.
Yeah, well, you'd never have somebody lost at sea again. There's all the like Amelia Earhart. Went down and nobody knows where she is. Like you could literally, like you said, put up the Starlink, and these things are portable. It's like a little thermos or like little lunchbox, and you anywhere in the world, and you've got internet.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So let's dive into this main topic of ours.
Boy.
So basically this was inspired by a tweet. It's always a tweet. By some random video game things like video game developers are hoping that GTA 6 is $100 so that I can set the precedent. Like, oh my god, level of scumminess of that. It just boils my blood. Like, let me break it down to you. So, there's because GTA 6 could charge $100 or whatever, and people will pay for it. Let's be honest, they probably can. And they're hoping that now we can charge $100 for games. So Ubisoft be like, oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows is $100. It's worth that. Sorry.
Well, they tried to sell it for $123. Remember, like the incomplete version was like $70. They had like that stupid matrix or those little flow charts. They're like, spend $70 and get a game that's only partially there. Spend $100 and we'll give you like the DLC that we cut out of the game, or you spend $123 and we'll let you play the game on time instead of make you wait 3 weeks later.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen with GTA 6. I think they're going to have the base version for $70, and then like some sort of premium version for like $100+, and allow you to play a week early. Because I'm sorry, people will pay that much to play GTA 6 a week early.
Oh yeah, but they won't pay that for GTA 7 though.
Yeah, because like with GTA 6, you could make the argument that Dan Houser had some effect on the story because this thing has been in development for so long. So like maybe he had a hand in it, but you won't be able to say that with GTA 7.
Nope. Well, part of me kind of wants them to pull this shit because this industry needs an enema, and
this town needs an enema.
Yeah, well, so back in the day, back in '94, I bought Phantasy Star 4 for $100.
And that's Genesis. One of the arguments they love to bring up.
But yeah, I mean, if you do all the
inflation,
it's like a $200 game. But here's the thing. I got a solid game out of that. There was no post-purchase monetization.
Mm-hmm.
I got everything that game was intended to have. And I was pissed off that the game was so expensive. I had to have it. I was a Phantasy Star fan. So, that was my shit. But like, if all games were like that, not only would I be like playing fewer games, but honestly, it would no longer be like I don't have the perception of value for entertainment where it's like I have to like if Phantasy Star 5 came out and they were asking for $100, I wouldn't have bought it. Phantasy Star 6, so on, and then the series would have just cratered after, obviously.
Yeah.
But like entertainment, the reason why these games are so cheap or cheap, quote unquote, is because entertainment has a perception of value problem. If you don't feel that you're getting your money's worth out of this game, you're not going to buy the next game for the same amount of money. And these companies have found every which way to separate players from their money through crap like DLC, season passes, map packs, all this crap. And all it's doing is creating almost like an apathy for games. You're looking at games going, I don't know.
Yeah, all the arguments they raise, like games cost more to produce. Like, yeah, okay, we're getting more, we're getting less for more. Like, look at Concord, costs like what, a bit, like $200 million. Okay, and it was.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but.
Sorry, go ahead. But also, video games are the only medium in which it is like drastically gotten more expensive in the last 5 years. Movies have been $30 for like the last 30 to 40 years, whether VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K Blu-rays. They've always been roughly $30, for like the past 30-ish years. Maybe in the 80s, they're a little bit more expensive. But for the last 30 years, they've been $30. Same thing with music. Music has always been $20 to $30 since the 90s, since the advent of CDs. I can't speak for cassette prices, but I would imagine it might be the same. Like your average cassette was maybe $20 to $30. And to this day, like your average record might be like $30 to $50 today. But the other thing is, we don't try to set a value based upon the product. Like, we don't argue, a Taylor Swift album should cost more than a Bruno Mars album. Or Dune should cost more than Purple Crayon, whatever.
Yeah. Well, here's here's a myth I'd like to dispel. A lot of people say, the costs in game development have gone up exponentially. No, I can actually tell you it's the direct opposite of that. The things that have gone up, though, just to clarify why the cost in game development has gone down. Well, first of all, you have unified game engines. Almost everybody's using freaking Unreal now. So you're not building a whole new engine from scratch. Hardware has become incredibly more accessible and cheaper. I mean, if you were to buy a computer back in 1980 that could run like a game that could, build that could play a Sega Genesis game or whatever while you were building, like you had a supercomputer. That thing was like $2,000.
Whoa. A computer in 1980 that could play Sega Genesis games.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 9-year difference in hardware in the 80s.
Well, what I'm trying to say is in the 1980s when the Sega Genesis came out, these developers had to have PCs that could run the Sega Genesis hardware because they had to develop for it on the PC first. That's how those games are made. You develop on the PC and then you port it into the hardware.
Wasn't a lot of development back then, like in the 80s, done on Amigas? Like I know the art side was definitely done on Amigas.
Amiga was the art PC, yeah.
Amiga is the Apple of its time.
Yeah, dude, British computer too, Commodore. But on top of that though, the hardware itself has gone down. The software has gone down, like because you're leasing or whatever these accessible Unreal engines or Unity or whatever, So it's like, so why has the cost gone up? Like why have these budgets ballooned into infinity? It's because Hollywood, we have to get insert actor here to voice this person. Or
we have to get Keanu Reeves for our game. Oh, we're doing a DLC. Let's get Idris Elba.
Yeah. And then on top of that, dude, to make those pre-rendered awesome cinematics that you see, those cutscenes, I can tell you with certainty, because I priced this out when I was working with the Ubisoft stuff. It's $1 million a minute.
Oh, like those Blur Studios?
Blur Studios, for the cheapest thing, is $1 million a minute.
To be fair, they did amazing work.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I'm not faulting them. In fact,
like a lot of those Blur Studio cinematics still hold up today.
Yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous, and a lot of talent behind that team. But like, there's a reason why when I buy an indie game, it's $20, and it doesn't have any of that crap. Like a beautiful cinematic isn't going to add value to me for a game. Like, I want to have fun playing this game, not watching it. Like, if I wanted a CG film, I'd go buy a Pixar film. Like,
yeah, I really don't like those games that like they have like. If I'm playing a game, the last thing I want to do is just put my controller down for like 10 plus minutes. Like that's why I tried to play Final Fantasy 16, and it had that problem where it was like the beginning was such stuttering. Like, oh, you can like here's this intro. You're playing as a bird. You can press a button to make it fire, or like, oh, introduce a character. You walk 5 steps. Now you have like 20 more minutes. Oh, we're gonna pull away to an entirely different scene. Characters you've met, like, it's just.
I want to play a game, not watch it. Yeah.
See, this is why I keep going back to Uncharted. Uncharted is the born supremacy of cinematic video games. You know what I'm getting at, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, the reason I call it the born supremacy is the whole shaky cam epidemic of the late 2000s was because of the born supremacy. Because Paul Greengrass did the shaky cam style. The thing is, Paul Greengrass knew what the frick he was doing, so it actually worked. But everyone saw, oh, shaky cam, cool, we can hide stuff. You know. And so the problem here is, oh, we can have cinematics. But like but the reason I call it Uncharted is Uncharted had a lot of cinematics, but if you notice, their cutscenes were like less than 5 minutes, and usually had long stretches of gameplay between them.
Yeah, well, they were rewards. It was about giving you that dopamine hit after you played through something. So they studied peaks and valleys or peaks and troughs to say, okay, how do we reward the player at this point? Because they're going to get exhausted doing this repetitive gameplay. You know, how many guys are you going to shoot that look exactly the same? You know, okay, let's break it up. Throw in a movie there. Okay.
Yeah, and it also helped that, like, Uncharted, you actually had well-written dialogue, charming characters. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Amy Hennig.
Yeah. That is.
I need to get Amy Hennig on this show. I really need to interview her. I want to do that so bad,
dude. She's one of my heroes, man. And yeah, between her and Phoenix Ree, like, remember, it's a man's it's a man's industry or whatever. It's like, yeah, how come all my heroes are female game devs?
Yeah,
you know,
Roberta Williams.
Yep, Jane Jensen. Yeah. Oh, God, man, Roberta Williams. I remember at the Gabriel Knight series. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, she's probably one of the most important people in game development ever. But yeah, all the other people like, oh, let's make because every failed game dev, every game dev is a failed movie maker.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, what about you remember Kim Swift? She made Portal. Like again, like I hate the whole boys club like myth, but then again.
Speaking of women ruining stuff then dipping. You want to talk about Dragon Age Milgard real quick?
Oh my God, dude! I don't like. I wouldn't even say that was a woman that did that. I would say that was an ideologue that did that, because there are men that do that too. Look at Naughty Dog. You know, Naughty Dog is doing that right now with what's his face there.
Oh, there's like an infinite number of like great video game women we could name, and jealous. Like
Oh,
we're talking about like actual like game devs, like people here. But yeah, all those people you mentioned are awesome,
yeah.
except for Ashley. But you know, that's
Space racist. But
the only reason I chose Ashley over Caden is a block of wood given form.
yeah,
He has like there's nothing to him. At least Ashley has personality. Her
yeah, he's
personality being
vanilla.
space racist, but yeah.
He's as vanilla as they come. But yeah, you're talking about what happened at BioWare. So rumor is that BioWare is getting shut down at the end of this fiscal quarter, which is coming up soon.
Or at the very
And-
least, it depends on the how Mass Effect does.
Well, I think what they're going to do is they're going to shut down the Edmonton studio and then repurpose Mass Effect to another studio. But or you know, disperse the people to these other studios. But either way, like that is a real shit thing to do. I don't care who you are. And this happened to me several times when I was in this industry. You get these assholes that like these office politicians that climb their way to these decision-making positions, and then they drive the company into the iceberg, and then they get on their golden parachutes and sail and do the same thing, you know, to some other company. And everybody that was left, that, you know, I had a 9-month crunch, dude. 9 months. People got divorced. People got sick. One guy died. Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't freaking matter, man. All of them got left high and dry and laid off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I can't say.
And you know the common refrain is, "Oh, why don't they just start up their own studio? Why don't they go indie?" That's fine, but I don't think the indie space can handle that many game devs entering it.
Yeah. Well, it's also so indie games is you have to put on, like, because it's basically another word for startup. You know, you've got to put on multiple hats, and we see this in the indie comic stuff. Some people are good at comic creation, but they're not good at business management, or they're not good at project planning, or they're not good at production, or they're not good at marketing or whatever, you know. Well, that's what indies are. Like, that puts a load on a person. And my hat's off to the indies that actually succeed, because for every one indie that you see succeeding with something on Steam that makes a decent amount of money, there's like at least 1,000 that have failed miserably.
Yeah.
Like lost their house, failed. So, yeah. But I don't like, and I hope that this is becoming a cautionary element for companies to start understanding that when you have these ideologues, these people that see what's on the market and what's not selling and what's selling, and they deliberately crash these companies and then go and sail onto golden parachutes while they leave everybody else high and dry. I hope this like creates an awakening where we're like, okay, maybe we don't need AAA development anymore, you know?
Yeah, especially with the rise of 2A. Like, I'd call
Yep.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2A, Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the thing is, indie is like single A, you know, kind of thing. And we had like a very healthy 2A industry during like the PS2 era, and the problem is during the 360 era, like the actual cost of game development, because everyone had to like jump to HD. You had all these, like, everyone was creating their own engines in that era.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's when the game dev cost got too much for a lot of those double A devs. And that's like all those like double A games that we love from the PS2 era started to trickle out and was completely gone by the time the PS4 era started.
Yeah, and I mean, it shows like that the double A's are kind of like what propelled the industry to its success, because the triple A's are so big and bloated. They have too many bean counters, too many corporate execs, too much meddling, too many worthless people in positions of power getting paid way too much money. And these games are just not sellable. Like it's not a sustainable industry. 10 years to get a damn game out the door? Oh, well, it costs too much money. Well, figure out what the hell's costing your budget this big and shrink your freaking product.
Remember when some of the greatest games ever made were made in less than 2 years?
Yeah.
Like remember when like 3 to 5 years was considered a lifetime in game development?
Oh yeah, that was more that for at least for me because all of the schools that I went through were 4 years apart. So grades 1 through 4, grades 5 through 8, and grades 9 through senior year through 12.
Mm-hmm.
And if a game took more than 4 years to come out, that meant like I went from elementary school to junior high, or junior high into high school, or graduated. Like
Yeah.
those were lifetimes. Like those were epochs.
Like there are people who, between the time that Cyberpunk got announced, got released, they met a girlfriend, they married the girlfriend, and then had a kid.
Yeah, now they have no time for the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a monkey's paw or the gift of the magi kind of thing. But yeah, I just honestly, when I see these developers or these people like these apologists, or I don't even know what the hell you'd call them, like the fanboys. Yeah, the shills who are like making defensive arguments about why games should cost more. And it's like, dude, maybe these companies need to figure out their project scopes and shrink.
But a Super Nintendo game cost $80 in 1994. You see this ad? Booyah! It's like,
not only that, but those were Canadian ads.
or even just then, like Super Nintendo game, like carts cost like more to manufacture. Oh, we got a Keeley. Ciao. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Keeley.
Like I think the an N64 cartridge cost $10 to manufacture.
Yep. It was more expensive, and it gave you less.
Yeah, like the thing that always grinds on my gears is they see them post like N64 Super Nintendo prices, but they conveniently leave out the PlayStation prices.
Yeah,
which
the cheaper discs.
Yeah, because they cost $1 to make. Also, N64 carts were made only in Japan, and PlayStation discs were made in several locations in America. Like PlayStation games were almost always $45, $50. Some cost $60, but that's like it. And the price was kind of standardized, $250, and it raised to $60 for the HD era. And then it raised to $70 recently. I really don't like it being $70, but as much as I hate to admit it, you can make an argument for things, But trying to get $100, well, that is some special crack you guys are trying to smoke.
Well, as a PC gamer, I just laugh at Steam sales, because I'm not paying $70 for a game. I don't care. There's no value there for me.
Yeah, me too. Like, I wait till like a lot of these games, I wait till like $30 consistently. Yeah. Like, I'll probably be buying Final Fantasy VII remake here soon because it's starting to be consistently $30 on the sales.
Well, during the holiday sales or whatever, Mortal Kombat 1, which was a $70 game, plus it had 2 DLCs. I bought it for $20 and it came with the 2 DLCs.
Oh, remember over this, I think it was like the Thanksgiving sale, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was like $8.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gotham Knights was $11. Gotham Knights was more.
Yeah.
Oh God,
man.
Australians, you guys get raked over the coals with game prices, I swear.
Those are a lot of dollary dues right there.
A lot of kangaroos.
Yeah, crikey.
Crikey, my gaming budget. I'm sorry, Angelus, for that terrible impression. I do apologize. On PS5. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that's and the thing is like, I mean, you're lamenting it now, but like as economics, like as things get worse, like fewer and fewer people are even going to want to put up with that shit. Like, I'll just wait. PS4
it's the same thing with the retro game market. Like retro games, some games can be expensive, but like most games were fairly reasonably priced. Like for example, I could buy Paris ID for $20. Now it's a $70 game. Oof. Like retro gaming it's a rich man's hobby now. Like unless you have the money, like unless you're making good money, you can't retro game collect on a budget. So most people
emulate.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think in about 10 to 20 years we're going to see a collapse of the retro game market because there's only so many times rich people can just trade a game amongst themselves.
Yeah. Well, that and it all comes down to that value perception. You know, if you don't have a perception of value for it, then that product is worthless. And for me, a PS5 is worthless. $124. The Last of Us 1, yeah, I bought it on the PS3. I have no reason to buy it again. Oh, but it's
Okay,
remastered. I don't care.
to me, a Switch 2 is worth it for 400 because I only recently got back on the Switch. I have a Switch Lite. So I'm getting like the handheld console and the TV thing back. It's backwards compatible, so all my games will play on it. And like Nintendo has good exclusives, you know, like Mario Kart, Zelda, all that stuff. And so it's worth it at 400 for me. 450, I probably won't do it. But the also problem is Nintendo. They're gonna start pricing their games at 70. Like Tears of the Kingdom was 70. I'm sure Metroid Prime 4 is going to be 70. There's no way that thing is going to be 60.
Dude, Tears of the Kingdom was such a disappointment, man. Like, they charge you $10 extra for this game, and it was like, you could see all the shortcuts they took in that piece of crap. Like, Breath of the Wild was an amazing game. Tears of the Kingdom was so many, like, copy pastes that it was just like, how did you justify the X number of years it took for you to develop this and the extra $10?
Yeah, because like Breath of the Wild took like what, almost 10 years to develop.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, but it was at the time. Like, granted, it's probably nothing special now, but at the time when I first jumped into that world, I was like, "This is amazing." The hang glider, you know, the climbing.
I would see. I've been doing a live stream of it, and it's actually been doing really well on my channel. And the game still holds up. It's very really engaging.
Yeah.
It was 169. Nice. Sorry. However, you got quite a bit of the OSC art book. Yeah, honestly, for 160, 169, I feel like that's kind of worth it. I don't know. I've never been one for collector editions, like ones that come with like a OST. I like, but like the ones that come with like those big ass statues.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't have room for them. I'm too old.
Yeah,
dude, I got that Virgin Trophies cabinet over here. All the Overwatch crap that I was given.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and now Overwatch is like a dead game, so it's like people are like, "Why do you have a pink Ed 209 in a trophy case?" Like, that's whatever. They don't even know who the hell these characters are anymore.
And 209. Oh my god, I got the joke.
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, that's Diva. They're like, yeah, whatever. That's ET 209. Like,
speaking of which, that kind of reminds me. So I've been playing Mall of Rivals, and I noticed Penny Parker looks like her robot form looked awfully familiar.
yeah, the cheap Chinese knockoff that is, they just knocked off.
No. Let me just pull this up. So, what does this look like to you? What does that robot resemble?
I know.
So I'm just gonna say this: there will never be a purple and yellow skin for Penny Parker.
Yeah, I know. She's not Korean either.
So. Into the cockpit, Shinji. Like it literally looks like an Ava unit. Like it's got like those shoulders, especially like I'm sorry, that is an Ava unit. That is Ava 1. Like, I'm sorry, it looks exactly like all right. All right, let me just pull up. All right, so here's Ava Unit 1.
Oh yeah.
I mean, tell me that is not like almost a dang near full ripoff.
Well, dude, that's China though. Communist China is they can't create; they can only emulate. You know, it's part of the conformity that was browbeaten into them for generations. You know. And
Yeah.
not only that, they have no shame in stealing properties. Remember the Harry Potter book? It was like Harry Potter and the Dumb Luck Dragon or whatever, and it was like, what? Come on, guys!
And I'm just gonna say this. This is the most politics I'm gonna do on the stream. This is why China will never rule the world. I'm just gonna say it. They can copy, but they can't create. They can't innovate. Like they might be able to economically, but physically, no, they can never do it.
And it sucks too, dude, because like when I uninstalled BattleNet, like because of the whole Hong Kong thing,
Mm-hmm.
I was so saddened by like when that country was just overtaken by, because like there was innovation in Hong Kong. Like you had thinkers, you had capitalists, you had
Well, we can blame the
people who
UK for that.
yeah, 96 when they gave it back, and I was like, why are people celebrating this? This is a horror show.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it the Tiananmen Square never happened? I was like, yeah, sorry, but yeah, right. But yeah, that's, and like when I was working on the Red 5 there for the Firefall game, they were setting up an office in Shanghai. So obviously they had to do the bribe the local districts and like all these different government people they had to bribe. They had the stupid dragon ceremony or whatever to open the damn studio because they couldn't just open it. And on top of that, a couple of the guys that we sent out there were telling us like the interesting cultural exchange that were happening in China. And they're like, oh yeah, we walked into a video shop and like all the stuff in there was just bootleg, like pirated movies that were still in theaters or weren't even in theaters yet because they had stolen like all the DVDs. So like, look at this one. And it was like a photo and it said Blu-ray. And it literally was a DVD with the words Blu-ray, like magic markered on it, And like the next day, apparently they went back to the store to get, to buy some of the stuff. And the entire store was empty. Like all the shelves were empty. They're like, what the hell happened? And apparently the shop owner bribes the local constabulary or the local cops or whatever that check for this stuff. And the cops dropped a dime and said, hey, tomorrow we're coming in to inspect your shop for pirated shit. And so, yeah, he's cleared all of his shelves. And this is how dishonest, like, communist China is. So, yeah. And now we're seeing games cropping up as these saviors because they got boobies in them. And how, like, we've been starved because everything's all fat and ugly now. Like, we want to see actually attractive characters. And they're like, well, we got it in droves, guys. Buy Black Myth Wukong, buy Marvel Rivals, buy what's that? The latest one that came out. It's like Chongqing. I freaking can't even know. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like some Chinese word, and it was like sword something. And they're like, look, we redid the chick. She's got boobs now. And I'm like,
all right, here's my prediction. Okay, GTA 6 is gonna crash and burn, and in 5 years you're gonna see a Saints Row reboot. That suspiciously is like, all right, we're going back to the streets. We're going. It's going to be a remake of Saints Row 2. We're hitting that balance, and like it's a savior game.
Yeah. New Chinese developed Saints Row, whatever. Johnny Gad is back. Gad out of Hell 2 or whatever.
They're making the actor play the role until he's 90.
Yeah, it's like you can hear in his voice, oh God, why am I doing this?
It's because they're paying me a lot of money. Yeah. But like that actor, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's very prolific, actually.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's always weird. I watch like, oh, there's Johnny Gat.
Yeah. Man,
it's always weird when you're watching something you see someone you recognize.
It's just so weird though, seeing the contrast between those games and then the one game that destroyed that company. Like how they don't even feel like the same. Like,
well, the problem with the Saints Row is, Saints Row 4 did okay, but they'd also kind of written themselves into a corner with that. They tried to do something new with Agents of Mayhem.
Oh God, yeah,
they're already on Stay Nice for Agents of Mayhem. So what any company does, all right, let's just do a full reboot. Let's beat people what they want. And honestly, a full-on Saints Row reboot probably would have worked if they hadn't done exactly what they have done. You know?
Yeah. I had a buddy that worked on an Agents of Mayhem game, but yeah, it's not the reboot that I have the issue with. It's just if you put that game, yeah, there it is, Wu Chang. Sorry, if you put Saints Row 4 or even Get Out of Hell or any of that stuff, and you put it next to the game that sunk the studio, you wouldn't. They don't even like it's Saints Row in name only. Like there's literally like there. I don't even think they had this fleur de lis at all in it. The Saints Row symbols.
I think it was like some places or whatever.
Yeah, but it was like because like Saints Row was like purple with the silver fleur de lis, and like it was all like hot, sexy people that like are kicking ass, and they're all criminals.
All right, thank you, Angelus.
Yeah. Wu Chang, they're like, look, this is our original version of the chick, but we put her back in the shop and gave her tits. I'm like, oh, come on, guys. The Westerners are gonna eat that up too. Because the model looks amazing, but it's like nobody's like kind of being like, that's a little suspicious, guys. Like all these like Chinese studio saviors out of nowhere.
You see, the problem is, I think if you notice a lot of these Chinese games, they're very light on story because to do a good story or even have good dialogue, you need good writers, and I think that's something I think a lot of Chinese studios still struggle with is creating a compelling story, which is why a Saints Row game might be a little bit of a problem for a Chinese studio.
Well, have you heard that there's this term, I can't remember what it is in Mandarin, but whenever they would make a product that they were trying to like give some level of like authenticity to, they would
White
hire
monkey jobs.
There you go, you got it. Yep, they'd hire the white monkeys.
Yeah, they're literally called white monkey jobs. I mean, it's probably a casual term, but still, that is a thing.
I can't like. There was a bunch like when I was studying business and stuff. So they have something called guangqi, which is in a business term, it's what they use to infiltrate Western studios. They call it, oh well, so that we can trust you and get a better. No, you're stealing all of our shit, and then you're going to make a copy of it, and then you're going to sabotage our companies.
Like, let's be honest, Ubisoft is probably going to become a fully owned subsidiary of Tencent here soon.
Oh. Yeah, if it isn't just, sold out altogether, meaning that they just shutter the doors and then liquidate all of their properties.
That would be interesting if it got sold, like, piecemeal. Like, certain people pick up certain franchises.
Yeah.
This kind of begs the question. Who would end up with whom? Like, I could see Nintendo trying to go for Rayman. Or Sony. I could see Sony trying to buy Rayman. Sony would probably also maybe want some of the Tom Clancy stuff, maybe, but Assassin's Creed is going to be the big one. Microsoft. Yeah,
although after Shadows, I don't know how much of a value, like the if you're to look at the stock value, not just in the company, but in the
Did you hear they're doing an AC4 remake?
Yeah, and it's like why?
That is like the okay, the first glass that we broke didn't work. Let's do the other glass.
Yeah,
The first is break glass if you're screwed. That's Assassin's Creed Samurai, and then there is break glass if you're really, really screwed, and that's just say Assassin's Creed 4 remake.
Yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag wasn't even originally an Assassin's Creed game. So,
some guy. And honestly, the tech's already there. Like, if they just adapt the Skull and Bone stuff, which was an AC4 spinoff anyway.
Yeah, and it was worse. Yeah. How did you make it worse, too? Like, they showed comparisons with, like... So, I don't know if you're familiar with this term in animation called inverse kinematics, or IK.
Roughly.
Where, yeah, it's like where you basically, like, have a character that stands on an unlevel playing field, and like suddenly one leg lifts up, to adjust to the terrain. Mm-hmm. Well, they showed like these animations that were like just completely disregarding the IK stuff, and then they showed like the water physics where like in Assassin's Creed 4 when the dude was running through the water. Once he got past his knees, his animation changed to him trudging, and then eventually he went into a waiting animation. And then they showed in the Skull and Bones game, there's literally no like transition. Your guy's running at full speed, and then once he gets to like chest level, he's now swimming.
Oh God. So joining the frenzy is our mistress of speaking of ships, here's the mistress of ships herself, Bunny Girl Nyx.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
So the crew is finally assembled. How you doing, Nyx?
Good, I just ate.
No.
A full belly Nyx is a good Nyx.
Yeah, especially since I haven't eaten all day. All I had earlier in the day was like 2 pieces of buttered toast.
Ooh, what'd you have for dinner?
Burgers. Homemade
Ooh.
burgers.
Oh, I'm so jealous right now. So, all right. So since you're here, Nyx, let's just kind of back up a little bit. What's your take on the whole like Grand Theft Auto should cost $100 idea?
I don't think any game should cost $100. I don't think they should cost more than, say, $50.
Yep.
Also, Johnny, I don't know if you were listening to the stream. Hey guys, so GTA costs $100. I wait until noon installment of Saints Row. Johnny, you should have been here like literally 5 minutes ago. We were talking about Saints Row.
Yeah.
What happened with Saints Row was a travesty. Like,
Yeah.
I can get that because there was the complaints that it was too similar to GTA, and Rockstar might have had a hand in it, that they decided to go in a sillier, more bombastic direction. And you know what? I can applaud them for wanting to do something different. I think 3 and 4 were really good, despite what other people may think.
Yeah.
But I think the reboot is trash. Like, not even hot trash, just trash.
See, and like I was saying earlier, I think like the idea of a Saints Row reboot where they kind of go back to like the tone of 1 and 2 is not even a bad idea. In fact, dare I say, it's actually kind of a good one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the problem is they messed it up. And if I want to go further, I want to answer Angelus's comment, especially with you here, Nyx. How would you justify Tomb Raider? Classic fans say it's crap, man jaw, masculine, etc. Which version has more corncob render edits, ood mods, and even dolls? Is she masculine or is she feminine? She's feminine.
Well, that's the thing is like the last decade we've been under attack where all attractive, like it's basically been Marxist deconstructionism. Like everything needs to be ugly. All of your good guys are actually villains, you know, and all of your villains are just misunderstood and all this crap, you know.
Or like you have a villain who they're evil, but they have to like face someone who's even more evil. Like for example, I like Cruella, the movie, because it at least has some style to it. Like 70s punk rock, like they're at least tried with that movie. But it falls in, yes, Cruella is a full on sociopath in that movie. You know, her character arc is, okay, maybe I should treat my henchmen a little bit better. Like that's literally her character arc. But the thing is, the person who she's fighting is like 2 or 3 rungs. Like, oh, I'm bad, but she's even worse. You know, kind of thing.
Well, that and I've noticed that with all the Marxist like storytelling, the villain is the true irredeemable villain is always a white guy, and if there's a female villain, then she is justified in her villainy because there's somebody worse than her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you literally took a character called Maleficent, which is Latin for the evil one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
or Cruella de Vil. You know,
cruel devil. Yeah. And like you justified them by being, you know, oh well, you know, like in the case of Maleficent, you know, they had the whole grape analogy, and it was like, yeah, the audience is now empathetic to a villain, which is again demoralization propaganda. Mm-hmm. Like, can't we just have good guys and bad guys? What's this like, you know, moral relativism crap? Like,
I mean, I do enjoy gray morality. Like that is why I love The Witcher. You know, where it has all these conversations about like lesser evil. Geralt himself is neither a good guy nor bad guy. He's just a person that exists in this universe, and I like that because it's a thing that like I love stories that make you think, and I like stories like the Twilight Zone where there's like it makes you like think like okay, uh, there's this really bad choice, but now I understand why they like. I like that. That to me is the essence of sci-fi.
Well,
But at the same time, you go too far with like trying to make villains empathetic and
well,
whatnot.
it's like when everybody is an anti-hero, then there's no more heroes.
Agreed.
And I like when Star Wars pulled that crap where they're like, "There's gray Jedi." It's like you missed the point of the original trilogy where they're talking about the light side and the dark side.
Well,
She can kind of do that. No, dude, that's not how the Force works.
Well, to be fair, you get that. Like, I am gonna have to disagree with you on that one, because it's shown all throughout Star Wars. The Jedi are out of touch idiots.
Well, but that's
and the
not what
Sith-
they were in the original trilogy. That was the deconstructionists they did to us. They were the peacekeepers, dude. They even talked about how they kept the peace in the Old Republic for thousands of years. You know, and then out of nowhere, they're now in out of touch idiots, and that now you can have somebody that can dabble in both sides, like like feminism. You can be a career woman and a mom. It's like no, that's not how this works.
Because the entire point of Luke's character arc in the third movie was both Obi-Wan and Yoda wanted Luke to kill Vader. They wanted him to do it. So Luke defied the old school Jedi and chose to be his own kind of Jedi and save his father. Okay? So even then, they were showing like the Jedi didn't know everything. They weren't the bastions, even in the original trilogy. Now, you want to say that's my interpretation? That's fine.
Yeah, because I saw it more as they wanted him to defeat Vader, not kill him.
Well, they said they wanted him to kill him.
I don't ever recall them. I remember seeing they're going to.
There's a whole debate of like he thinks there's good in Vader or whatnot. You know.
Yeah, and it's like
also defeat is just another word for kill. They couldn't say that in a PG movie.
No, but like in the sense of the story, though, it was to stop him from doing what he was doing, and he succeeded in that. And he kind of pulled a Kobayashi Maru by saying, not only did I stop him from doing what he was doing, but I actually got him to get on our side again. Like that was what made Luke such an awesome character, is that he figured out how to win both sides of the argument. You know, he got his dad, he redeemed his dad, and he ended up defeating his dad. You know,
yeah. See, like, the thing is, I know the prequels recontextualize everything, but the thing that we got a random appearance by Jared. They were literally going to execute Vader in Force Unleashed 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not original trilogy, dude.
Jared, if you want a link, let me know. I'll let you on. But the thing I like about the prequels is, yeah, they recontextualize everything, but it still slots in perfectly with it. Like, yeah, it recontextualizes stuff, but it doesn't outright change anything, unlike the sequels.
Well, dude, the prequels had that stupid midichlorian shit. I had a friend that worked on the role-playing game. Was it Mayfair? No, not Avalon Hill. One of those game companies that had the license for Star Wars.
West
and
Side.
They had to, yeah, it was one of those where he basically had to explain that the midichlorians thing was actually just a bullshit way to convince the layman of the spiritual thing, because they couldn't just say, "Hey, we're going to go kidnap your kid," you know, because of magic. Like, it's no, your kid has these scientific explanation. Like,
yeah, you can't actually space Jesus, so we need to take him.
Hallelujah.
Far away. You'll never see him again. I know he's only 10 years old.
It was an immaculate force conception. No, literally, it was an immaculate force conception.
Oh God, yeah, those prequels were a mess. But like, in all honesty, though, there were things I disliked about them, and I never felt like, as much as I disliked the prequels, I never once walked out of the cinema feeling insulted
Yeah.
I walked out of The Force Awakens angry. I was like, this is trash. And then it only got worse from there. And then, I got people saying, oh, no, the last Skywalker, or what the last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
That was the one that crapped. It's like, no, dude, the writing was on the wall when Mayor Ray Sue literally didn't need any of her supporting characters to help her. I mean, she got herself out of everything.
I mean, honestly, the sequel trilogy is a black hole of discussions that we could like.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was my fault for bringing Star Wars. Yeah, Sheikah Sensor is my text tone. Also, Jared, I did send you the link, so torture us at your leisure. But there's a line from Star Wars Jedi Academy where Kyle Katarn says, there are no dark side moves, there are no light side moves. All that matters is how you use them.
Yeah, but that's outside of the trilogy, though. Like that's all, like, I don't want to say ancillary, because I really liked the expanded universe stuff. But, like, if you were to take the trilogy at face value and not look at any other stuff, the story contained within it was about this eternal battle between good and evil, or a light side and dark side. And I liked that. I liked that that dichotomy. And now all these like moral relativists have to come in and make everything gray and everything. Oh, that's just an anti-hero. Like, dude, Wolverine was cool, but he's a douche. Like not every character needs to be Punisher. Not every character needs to be this brutal.
Yeah, I will agree with you that. I will agree with you there. Okay, not every character has to be gray sludge, but at the same time, not every character has to be a paragon of light and virtue. Or the epitome of light and darkness. Okay, we can have both. We can have
characters.
All right, guys. I'm sorry for what I'm about to flick onto you, ladies and gentlemen. The stream just got a lot worse.
Woo!
Hey,
have you ever heard of Tom King the Idiot?
Oh my God!
Oh my God, your post.
Jared is taking over the stream, everybody.
Oh boy!
You saw that Wonder Woman stuff, didn't you?
So
go
ahead, Jared.
So first off,
why'd you bring a baby to hell?
No. It wasn't that. It wasn't that, Chris. It got a lot worse. So one of my complaints of the Tom King run is that she's a side character in her own book.
Oh, yeah.
So naturally, I thought, okay, after the Sovereign story, maybe we'll get that. Literally, the first arc is her teaming up with Batman to solve a murder on Olympus. I'm like, hey,
on Olympus.
Wonder Woman has the wisdom of Athena. So what are you doing? So what it really is that Tom King wants to write Batman, but he knows he's a talentless hack and can't write Batman because when he wrote Batman, sales got so bad that they literally, that Hulk was outselling Batman. So they kicked him off, not before he got his editor fired, mind you, and then harassed Jay Lee. So.
I remember that.
There's so much crap surrounding this guy. He only got his job at DC because his mom was an executive at Warner Brothers. He is a nepotism baby.
Oh, okay. Yep. Chris, I think we can agree that Tom King is like the example of the pure evil.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Dark side.
He's not even Darth King the wise. He's Darth King the idiot.
So for the people who don't know, can you explain the Tom King?
He plagiarizes so much of other people's stories. Like, okay, so Chris, have you ever heard the phrase "dark side is"?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's basically Darkseid's like catchphrase. It appeared in Grant Morrison's Justice League of America. That's where it first appeared. As far as that's the earliest I've seen it. It may not be where it first appeared. Tom King took credit for it.
Oof.
And then if you look at like a bunch of his stories, they're literally just, he lifted them from other people's stories from the past. And I'm like,
that was a play on God, right? Like, I am Jehovah, Yahweh.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris, it's called a little something. He's the Kathleen Kennedy of DC.
Oh,
ooh, that hurt.
And just remember, Jared, He's writing the DC movies.
So I started a hashtag
Oh no.
called King Off Wonder Woman and Redcon Trinity. So would you like to hear some numbers of how well this thing did?
As far as I know, you should still have mod privileges, and if you don't, just send it to me. I'll put it in chat.
No. I'll share screen because this is like.
Okay.
I got
see
some
this.
stuff. I got some stuff.
Jared's got the receipts.
I got the receipts. So what we're seeing here, this is provided by by my friend Snyder Queen. So what we're seeing here is that the King of Wonder Woman had
All hail the Queen.
They had 2.7 thousand tweets and 2.6 thousand for getting rid of Wonder Woman's demon spawn daughter. And for engagement with the hashtag, 27.9 thousand. For Redcon Trinity, 27.6 thousand. For potential reach, 404.8 thousand.
Woo! God dang, boy.
So my thing is, okay, Barry, that was for a trending day. So what we're going to do, every single issue. Barry, he blocked me on Blue Sky. Because you know what I did? He posted, "Hey, if you guys want, like, if you guys are interested in like a book, if you guys are bored, the new issue of Wonder Woman came out." And I said, "I would love to read it if you actually wrote Wonder Woman and not an irrelevant love interest who she literally hasn't dated in the past 5 years. But I guess you'd rather be writing other characters, right?" It was so good. He was blocking Brit, and Brit has never interacted with him.
Oh.
The dude,
needless to
I think
say,
he's sweating.
He is aware of the hashtag.
Oh, and the plan is to either get him to self-select off the book or for DC to kick him off. That's the plan. And now we're preparing a Twitter thread that's going to expose all the bullshit he did, from the Jay Lee debacle to the getting his editor fired to all the times he plagiarized and lied. Oh, it's going to be epic.
So, Jared, just an example. Can you break down for the stream the Jay Lee incident? I know what it is.
First, I want to say one thing. Never go to war with me. You will lose. All right. So the Jay Lee debacle. So I assume everyone knows who Jay Lee is, right? He's a very talented comic book artist. And he did so he was doing a cover for, so Tom King was for some reason allowed to write the book Rorschach. And so what happened is, so Jay Lee did a cover for Rorschach, but he also did a cover for Ethan Van Sciver. A cover I own, by the way. It's a very nice cover. So Tom King took to Twitter, and I actually have the tweet here. So let's read this. Let's read this. Let me for some reason the Twitter app on the computer is buggy. Elon, repair that.
Do it.
Yeah. So, yeah. And my whole thing is, I literally said today, I'm like, through all this stuff, he's not fit to write Wonder Woman. He's not fit to write superheroes at all, because the dude acts more like a super villain. In fact, Britt and I are convinced that the old guy Sovereign, who has no real power, is actually a self-insertion by King.
Tom King should write a dark side.
So here's what Tom King tweeted. Hang on, it's loading. It's loading. Time. God. Elon, make Twitter work, please.
Tom King.
Hashtag
wow.
make X
Thanks,
great
Elon.
again. Make X great again.
So what he said is, today DC put out an alternate cover to Rorschach by Jay Lee, who has also done covers for Comicsgate, a hate group. DC does not consult creatives on alternate covers. I reached out to them to express my deep disappointment. As far as I'm concerned, this is the cover to Rorschach #1. Now, what King didn't know...
This is Tom King right now.
So a hate mob went after Jay Lee, including started posting hate comments on a Twitter post talking about how his dog just died.
Wow.
And then Tom King tweets 2 days later, and he says, as I've done privately, I'd like to publicly apologize to Jay Lee for my actions a few days ago. I should have talked to Jay Lee before I sent a tweet about him that put his career at risk. Yeah, no shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned,
foolish.
I am making it my personal mission that this guy gets kicked off Wonder Woman in disgrace, like the disgrace he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got his editor fired. He was called out by Tom Brevoort. So I'm gonna read this tweet. Nick, you will love this. This is one of those moments that you kind of pray. This is one of those moments where an a-hole was called out publicly that I'm gonna blast out. So again, Tom King posted a panel from his Batman run, and he said, the transcendent, brilliant, and visionary editor Mark Doyle is leaving DC this week. I would not have a career without Mark. He gave me my first gig, my first ongoing, made me take insane risks on big stages. In every genre, he tirelessly pushed comics to a legend, to be better, a pure legend. Here's Tom Brevoort. Didn't you force him out of the Batman titles and then crow about it in an interview? It's a bit odious to cry over the bodies that you had a hand in killing them.
Oh!
So anyway, he just started blasting.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that this never goes away. No, I'm sorry. If you're going to write Wonder Woman, who is literally the kindest superhero, you have to be a kind person, and Tom King is decidedly not. I love where he was on my friend Robert's show, and he was talking about like how he reads a lot of trades, and he has this vast comic knowledge about Wonder Woman. And I'm like, where is it? Because he gets characters wrong. He has, okay, Nick, do you know who Grail is?
Vaguely.
The daughter of Darkseid. She is
Okay.
a henchman for the Sovereign. The daughter of Darkseid. A henchman.
Yeah,
Wow.
that should
What's a demotion?
Exactly. He literally has, so I assume we all know who Silver Swan is, right? So
No.
Silver Swan is one of Wonder Woman's villains. So this particular iteration is of her friend Vanessa, who was like one of the first friends that she made in Man's World, but she was corrupted and turned evil and stuff. So King misinterprets this relationship and makes it like unrequited love that like Silver Swan
Lesbian.
tackles Diana and goes, quick, come with me. We can be together. I'll keep you safe. And I'm like, what is this garbage?
Scissor me timbers.
Yeah. And then Nick. So you know what happened? So the issue launched the other day. And you know what happened in it? So again, Wonder Woman's been on her ass all day because she made her daughter out of clay. So while everyone else is dealing with her supervillain named the Sovereign, who's supposed to be her version of the Joker, to quote Tom King, she has yet to actually directly confront him. So anyway, she's been making a literal statue to Steve Trevor, who just got killed. So she literally put Steve Trevor on a pedestal. And we're like, we get it. You want to write Steve Trevor. Go write Steve Trevor. I'm sure no one will read that book. And then, to add more insult to injury, do you know the reason why he gave Wonder Woman a daughter? Are you ready? This is the reason he gave. Not once he talked about what this adds to the character. He goes, well, Superman has a son and Batman has a son, so Wonder Woman should have a daughter. And I'm like, that is the laziest reason to give his character. And then literally Trinity shows up and goes, I am Elizabeth Marston Prince, Trinity, daughter of Diana, leader of the Justice League. And we're like, what? She literally shows up and goes, oh, I'm sure to John and Damian. She like browbeats them because she's a little B-word. She talks about her mother being toxic. It's getting to the point where I'm like, I think Tom King legitimately hates Wonder Woman.
Well, didn't he give her didn't he cut off one of her arms and stuff?
No, he didn't. No.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no.
the same person that made her eat rats?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Oh, it gets worse, Nick. In the subsequent dialogue, Diana narrates what it was like to eat a rat. Like, she describes biting into it and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh,
what did you do?
Well, those poor rats.
Because Tom King is sick. That's why. He is a sick man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
sure.
making it. It's to the point. Not only did I cancel the book again on my pull list, I am going to go to another comic book store and sell back all my Tom King Wonder Woman issues. Nick, I don't think I showed you this. I invented something that I did for a bit. Do you mind if I do it on here?
Go ahead. You've already taken over the stream enough.
So I was in my comic book store and I need a new comic book box. So then I thought, okay, I'm gonna have some fun with this. I created the box of bullshit. So what I have here, so I picked Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy because I felt that this box would be most appropriate for the purpose of this thing. So I have all my issues of Tom King's Wonder Woman, Rebirth Superman, any issue I have that features Lois Lane. It's all the stupidest issues of comic books. And not only am I selling back every Wonder Woman book I own, I am going to sell every Tom King book I own.
Oh, wow.
And then burn the box.
No. I still need the box for other BS stuff DC does, like give Lois Lane powers.
You need to slap like a poop sticker on it or something.
Oh, trust me. The real Wonder Woman, it's kind of funny. Whenever someone tries to defend Tom King's Wonder Woman, do you notice the one thing I always say? How much Wonder Woman have you read? About 99% of the time, they'll say, admittedly, not that much. And I'm like, ha!
Yeah, and if anyone ever questions your credentials, you be like, do you see this wall behind me?
1.5 shelves dedicated to Wonder Woman. I have a hoodie.
Yep.
I have a blanket.
You spend way too much on hot toys.
Yes. I dedicated an entire show to 2 shows to Wonder Woman. So, I read her probably more than the average Tom King reader.
I think it's pretty safe to say, Jared, you know what you're talking about.
I heard this great thing on my friend Max's channel, Max Priestley. Someone said that Tom King is essentially the people that read. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up what he said. I need this exact quote for you to get the effect because it made me laugh my ever-loving ass off. Okay, hang on.
Right.
So what it says here is, hang on. This is really important. This is really big. This is really cool. Where is it? This thing really made me like go crazy. Okay, here we go. Actually, this is Max Priestley. Tom King writes for stupid people who think that they are smart.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Dunning-Kruger effect of comics.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jared, we were talking about like Jedi's and like it's fine. I'm just happy to have you here. We were talking about like Jedi's, and I'm saying like it's okay that there's some gray morality in the Jedi's.
Yeah.
Chris is more of a traditionalist. He likes like the good and the evil.
Chris, the whole good and evil thing. That's why the Jedi fell.
Well, the Jedi fell because of poor writing in the prequels, where they somehow didn't see what was directly under their nose because the Jedi are now out of touch and stupid, according to the prequels.
Well. How about the fact that they brought this guy on because they were like, "Oh, he's a chosen one," but we're not going to do anything. But we're going to do everything we can to isolate ourselves from the chosen one.
Well, how about the fact that he was supposed to bring balance to the Force, and the Jedi were already
not leave it in darkness.
Well, he was like the Jedi
You're the
were
chosen one.
No, but what would be the end result of bringing to balance when you're the Jedi
Killing
and you're already
Palpatine.
at the top?
Killing Palpatine.
No. I mean, the Jedi were at the top. They were in the height of the Old Republic.
Maybe serving as a bridge between the light and dark. So, in other words, gray.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, Mortis arc.
Yeah, I don't like the moral relativism of a fairy tale, and that's what Star Wars was. You know, the original trilogy was a fairy tale. It was a Japanese one.
A damn good one, but yeah. I mean, that's fair. It's like, all right, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, Star Wars is basically just the Jedi are basically just samurai wizards with laser katanas.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
If you saw the unreleased Hidden Fortress stuff when Akira Kurosawa died, and they showed all of his freaking unreleased shit. By
the way, speaking of unreleased, Chris, I wanted to ask you: did you see all the leaks about Star Wars Battlefront 3?
Yeah, and that was.
Tell me that would not have been like the best Star Wars game ever.
Oh yeah,
the Wii
build. leaked a
It's
few
kind of
weeks ago.
funny. You can play that campaign. That is literally the, I think, Gray
PSP.
Squadron game for Nintendo DS. That campaign is that.
It's
wow.
Elite Squadron for PSP.
Oh,
Yep.
and on DS it was called Gray Squadron, I think. But the point is,
Okay.
that campaign is literally the handheld game. And I was like, as soon as I saw the plot points, I'm like, wait. I've seen this before. I played this game.
The wildest thing for me is the fact that Ram Koda is a part of it. So,
Yeah, I know.
Is that saying we could, there's literally, Force Unleashed is canon to Battlefront.
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh, God. 1313 would have been amazing.
I don't want any other Star Wars game before I get Republic Commando 2.
Oh,
That's what I want. I want to hunt the Jedi as a commando.
Also, can I just say, I wish we had gotten Project Ragtag. The Amy Hennig produced Uncharted Star Wars game would have been amazing.
yeah.
We got that. It's called Jedi Fallen Order.
Well,
That's kind of what that is.
I mean, Fallen Order is like Metroidvania, Dark Souls, But yeah, I see what you're saying. I think at one point, 1313 was turned into a Boba Fett game. Oh, God, that would have been so cool.
Before the Book of Boba Fett came out.
Oh, long before. Speaking of that kind of stuff, Jared, have you seen the videos of there's a Star Wars mod for Starfield that turns it into basically a Mandalorian game?
Yeah, I've seen that. That looks good. That looks fun.
Nice.
So it basically becomes a Mandalorian game.
Yeah.
Does it make it a not boring game? I stopped playing it. You know why? I'm literally stuck on a part with a spaceship battle, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? I can't even escape.
It just works.
It just doesn't work.
Well, it's procedurally generated play spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jared, what you been playing, sir?
I have been playing. I played the finale of Suicide Squad. That was for what it was. I was like, okay. I'm continuing my Avengers playthrough for my channel and Justice League Cosmic Chaos. That's a fun one. I enjoy that game.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I've just been reading a crap ton of comics for everything that's been going on. I recently passed 2K subscribers.
Congratulations, sir.
Yep. Google Ads, baby. Don't be reliant on Google Ads, though. I've heard that that if you do too much of them, they screw up your channel.
Oh no!
It was just an experiment to see because what would happen. Because how does this work? I started at 1313 and ended up with 2197.
Ooh.
So
it's worth looking into. Yeah, I'm like really close to.
I saw, dude. Great job.
Oh shit.
Technical difficulties, folks.
Danger.
So right now, I am at 2,918 watch hours.
Ooh.
Oh, great, dude. That's awesome. You're almost there.
So more than likely, we'll be having the monetized stream sometime in February. Nick's, you're invited. Chris, you're invited. Jared, you're invited as well.
I'll just barge my way on. That's the way I normally do things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna give you a preview of my speech. Jared, I do have a lot to thank for you for my rise, and I do appreciate and respect you helping giving me the push. So thank you, sir.
Of course. All right, so I've been reading this. I finally got the Amalgam Omnibus. Yes, this includes Dark Claw.
Yeah. All right. So to the side.
Amalgams.
Oh my God, that is a thick boy.
And I got this cover because we literally have Jim Lee drawing Dark Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the regular one, but then I was like, when is Jim Lee gonna draw these characters? This is when, so you know what they do with Steve Trevor? They combine him with the Punisher, so he's actually a good character.
Steve Trevor, more like Steve Never.
Yeah.
And Lois Lane is her regular lame self. She's just said that no one wanted her. As most
They're
people
like
don't.
the last kid to get picked to the sports team. They're like, oh,
Yeah, I thought they merged her with like a DC reporter. Is that really many reporters on the Marvel side?
Yeah, that's true. They would have. I have some people suggest that they merge her with Mary Jane, but I don't want to do that to Mary Jane.
Mary Lane.
Yeah.
Mary
Mary
Lane.
Lane.
There you go. That could be something. Oh, I have a new outro on my thing. I added on. So I say, so you know how I say Lois Lane is Lois Lane? She belongs to General Zod. So I have Steve Trevor, Steve Never. He belongs 6 feet in the ground. Just to screw with people. Just to screw with people. But it's all good. It's all good.
I got a ship name for Lois and Trevor. Lever.
Lever action. That's some good lever action. I saw the third Venom movie, which I pretty much enjoyed. I'm waiting for streaming so I can see Sonic 3 because I didn't get a chance to watch it.
You haven't seen Sonic 3 yet?
I've been busy.
Oh, dude, I'm doing like a massive epic crossover this Sunday because I do like video game stream on Sundays now. I got Melee coming. I got Vaughn Coleman. We're gonna talk Sonic. It is gonna be awesome. Oh, Johnny Ortiz got a question for you, Jared.
Would you think a good merger is either Spider-Man with Nightwing or Flash Nightwing?
Spider-Wing.
Spider-Wing, yeah. It's because well, in this they merged him with Superboy and he was Spider-Boy. Yeah, I'm like okay, but I'm just like it. So yeah, in terms of Nightwing, the reason I go Nightwing is because yeah, they're both like very acrobatic characters, and to a degree, Nightwing does swing from rooftops. So I'm like, it kind of works.
Night Spider.
By the way, I read the Daredevil Batman crossover with this. In this world that this comic takes place, Matt Murdock and Harvey Dent went to law school together.
Oh.
So I'm reading this and I'm like, and it's drawn by Scott McDaniel.
Ooh.
You literally have Daredevil drawn by Daredevil and Batman's drawn by Scott McDaniel. It's so good.
So Jared, I have a question for you. You said you've read Screecher issue 3, so can you tell my audience what you thought of it?
It was pretty good. It advanced the plot. I liked all the framing in terms of what shots you chose. Like a lot of the use of these silhouettes for Screecher, and I'm like, this is straight Batman, but in the best way possible. In other words, it works for what you're doing. So I'm like, okay, I dig this. I dig this a lot.
Awesome. And oh yeah. So okay. So for the main topic, we're asking about like GTA 6 being 100. Like people saying it should be 100.
No, are you? I saw that tweet today. The other day, Nick, and I literally gagged because I'm like, games do not need to be more expensive, particularly for what they give you for the price already. They're giving you a half product now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was debating people for days. That's my fault. But like, it's boiled down to
debating people. No,
that never happened.
That never. You don't start Twitter fights ever.
I end them.
You want the Twitter fights, Jessica.
Welcome to Thunderdome. No, that they boil down to inflation. Like they're like, oh, video games are like actually cheaper now than they were, or they pull up an ad from like '94 and show like, oh, Super Nintendo games were $70-$80. You know, just so much stuff taken out of context, and because my thing is, video games are the only medium where they want to drastically raise the price. Like records have remained relatively the same. Movies have been $30 for like 30 years. You know, like a 4K Blu-ray is the same price as like a VHS from the 90s. $30, essentially. Mm-hmm. Obviously inflation, but like the prices have remained the same.
Yeah. Like
technology is supposed to go down as it goes. And the problem is, like, if you were to tell me, like, perfect world, $100, no DLC, full game, and it comes out, there's no game-breaking glitches, then we might have a discussion here.
Yeah, but the way the industry is, like let me put it this way: there's no way I would have paid $100 for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
No.
Oh, they tried to sell it for that much.
I got the special edition just because I got to play it early, so I had because Talati and I were streaming it, so I kind of had a reason to do it. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. And by the way, have you noticed that like not a lot of collector's editions come with statues anymore?
It's laziness.
Yeah, because I'm like, I remember I used to get all the Halo editions that came with all those dope statues. I have the Assassin's Creed Black Flag one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, did you hear that there's rumors they might be remaking Black Flag?
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that Assassin's Creed Shadows got delayed again.
Chris, did you do any work on Assassin's Creed 4?
No.
Oh, darn it. But yeah, like Assassin's Creed 4 does sound interesting. Oh god, but like I was saying how I could see them like putting in like $100 and you get to play GTA 6 a week early. I could see that getting done.
Yeah, that's fine. But when you're just saying it's going to release the exact, if you're not making it special enough, pun intended, why are you doing this? I get why, but I'm like, there's no other reason for that. And if anything, you're gonna get people to boycott your game then.
Yeah, or they'll just wait for a sale because here's the thing: I'm gonna get GTA 6 on PC, and it's probably gonna be at least a year until that thing comes out on PC anyway.
Yeah. And plus, you can also wait for a Steam sale. So I'm like, what this sounds like to me is hubris because they're like, we're GTA 6. There's no way people are going to get pissed off and not buy our game. But here's the thing. Nowadays, with money not being as abundant so far, it's like people are a little more stringy with their budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like $70 is already a tall ask for a lot of people.
It's too much for me, man.
But $100, like okay, people might buy it for GTA 6, but Assassin's Creed 528, no.
Well, that and they may pay $100 for GTA 6, but they won't pay $100 for GTA 7.
Yeah.
And not only that, but think of how it must be for countries who aren't American.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
conversion rates.
That's another
Like, I'm
interesting
Canadian.
That's a $200 game right there.
My game is already, anytime I have to get it, is like way more than the American price. So like Princess Peach Showtime, when it came out, I had to pay close to $100 to get it.
Oh, come on. Next, I'm sure if you apologize, everything will be fine because you're Canadian.
I don't actually apologize that much.
What kind of Canadian are you?
Jared, as a person who lives 40 minutes from Maple Land, as a person who has dated a Canadian, I can tell you, like, Canadians are actually rude as frick.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Well, not all of us, just the French ones.
Oh, damn!
Do you also have a tendency? Do they also have a tendency to surrender at everything?
Oh no!
Yeah, and I wish.
I can confirm the Canadians, they do say eh.
There's a legend, by the way, that the French army issues all their soldiers a standard issue white flag.
All right, okay.
Dude.
I got a good joke. I got a good one. Why do the French have so many revolutions?
Why?
It's so they could win one every once in a while.
Oh!
All right, Nick, can I tell people about the bat bombs?
Go ahead.
Bat bombs.
All right. So this is why I love the United States, because we turned into MacGyver during wartime. So in World War II, around the same time as the Manhattan Project is being developed, they wanted to. So what they discovered, so statistically, they took out a lot more targets in with like fire weapons and stuff. So an inventor from Kentucky came up with this idea, and so what he wanted to do is use bats. I'll get into how you're going to use that in a second. So he wrote a letter to FDR. He just happened to know FDR's wife. He went to school with her, so she put it on her husband's desk. And FDR goes, legit. I think this is a legitimate idea. So scientists start. So the idea is they're going to strap incendiary bombs on bats, drop them over Japan. The bats are going to roost, and then at a certain time, all going to go off at once.
Oh God.
So they got almost to execution, but then the Manhattan Project turned out successful, so they're like, we're going to go with this. Or how about how we launched a manhole cover into space?
What?
You know what we did, Nick? Yeah, have you seen this one, Fat Electrician? All right, so what they did is, so the government, so during the Cold War, the concern was that Russia was going to send nukes by plane, because at the time we didn't have ICBMs. So the idea was we need a nuke that we can detonate above ground to take out the Russians. Now the concern was, if the nuke is not detonated by like the airborne nuke, is the impact on the ground going to set it off? So what they wanted to do is set off a nuke underground. So what they did is, so they dug a hole, put like 2,000 pounds worth of concrete on there, and then detonated the bomb. And like a column of blue flame shot up. So they were like, okay, we'll try again tomorrow. So tomorrow they put a like 3,000 pound manhole, essentially a manhole cover over it, and get a high-speed camera. Because, and I quote, this would be very scientifically interesting to observe.
No, they're like, Johnny, get this thing on camera. We need to build this.
This is
They
better than the Coke
detonated.
and,
Obviously, it fails. Now, here's what the nuke did. It vaporized the concrete, and it turned it into hot gas. As we know, hot gas expands. So it expanded and shot the manhole cover up. So what we know is that the manhole cover only showed up in the high-speed camera for one frame. And what they know, wait, it gets better. So they don't know how fast it was going. What they do know is how fast it must have been going to not to only be caught in one frame. So essentially, the minimum that this thing was going is 150,000 miles an hour.
Oh my God!
So we literally, so there's an argument that the U.S. put the first man-made object in space. And as far as we know, but that thing is still flying. It probably flew into space. And as far as we know, it probably hit an alien planet, and the aliens are coming to kill us because of that.
or there. Let me say this. The aliens were coming to invade us. The manhole cover hit their flagship, blew it up, and the rest of them were like, holy crap! This is the technology they have. We don't want to mess with these guys.
Nick, it's like the first Avengers game where if you take out one, if you take out the Queen, they all droid army and like shut down. That's what we did.
Welcome to Earth.
Yes, exactly. Where we launch nukes, we launch manhole covers at you.
Wait, was Zod on the face of one of these manhole covers?
You think you can mess with my mother?
Yeah, I love that scene. I just rewatched that movie. But yeah, it's I'm watching this and I'm like, oh wow, see again. This is why I love the U.S. because if you go to war with us, we will weaponize literally everything. Did you know that we
Don't mess with our boats? Don't mess with our boats.
Did you know that we wanted to create a nuclear landmine?
Oh God!
So what we did?
That is some Fallout crap, right
So
there.
what we decided to do, I forget the exact circumstances, but for the timer, so we put it in an airtight container that that was run off of body heat. So which body heat do you think we use? Chickens. So what we do is we lock chickens in this airtight container with the nuclear bomb, and when they would die and their body heat would go out, the nuke would explode.
Oh God!
I know. There's so many crazy stories from U.S. history that I freaking love it.
Good thing they didn't use Kathleen Kennedy's body heat because that woman's cold-blooded.
Or it's a good thing they didn't use Tom King, otherwise they would have more bombs. By the way, I made a joke on my channel.
Are you saying Tom King is chicken?
I said Tom King has more flops than a man with erectile dysfunction.
Oh,
Whoa!
That's true. He doesn't sell well in terms of comic sales. He does.
Oh God.
I made this joke on my show where I was like, hey, Tom, here's a radical concept that will really help your run. Okay, let me show you, Tom. So what you do, step 1, you take a comic book. Step 2, open the comic book. Step 3, now this is the really radical part. This is the crazy part. Read the comic book.
No! What?
When you're done, close the comic book. Put the
What?
comic book away. Go to your laptop. Type out an email that says, I am stepping away from writing Wonder Woman because I don't know what I'm doing. And then go write whatever demented clone of Animal Farm that you're currently writing. Because that's another thing he's working on. He's doing his own version of Animal Farm.
What is it the one where like the Animal Farm actually works because he thinks communism is a good thing?
I have no idea what that guy. Oh, in the issue that so there was an implication via the solicits that in the conclusion to the Sovereign story, I don't know this for sure yet, but the Sovereign is camping out in the White House. Kind of funny how how the main villain that's supposedly the King of America ends up in the White House around this time. But there's a scene, there's a piece of art that was promoted. It's like Daniel Sampere's art. It's Wonder Woman walking away from an explosion. So my concern is Tom King going to have Wonder Woman blow up the White House?
That might be a little bit too far.
Nothing's too far for Tom King. Remember, he had Wonder Woman eat rats. He had Nightwing shot in the head and called Rick Grayson.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shot in the head. Tom King did it to me.
He'll do it
comics.
You know what's kind of funny?
He doesn't know what they are.
There's a saying going around on comic Twitter that's like, you may not care about Tom King now, but you will care when he starts writing your favorite character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games until he ruins your comic book.
Yeah, basically DC fans play Tom King roulette.
First he came for Wonder Woman, and I did not say anything because I was not a Wonder Woman fan.
You know what's the sad part? This literally happened as Wonder Woman became my #1 favorite superhero, so I'm like, oh, god damn it. Luckily, here's why it's an advantage. I have Absolute Wonder Woman, which is so much better and more true to Wonder Woman. The one she's raised in hell is more true than is more true to the character than Tom King's demented version that I call Unwonderful Woman.
Yeah, and like the version of Spider-Man that only got his powers last week is somehow more comic accurate than current Spider-Man.
Oh, they did such cool stuff right now, Nick. Oh,
Volume 2's coming out in March. I'm gonna grab it.
wait till you see the issues they're on now. Oh, they did something really cool. Again, that's why I say it's only a matter of time before he leaves the book, because sales are dropping. DC is a little more pinchy in terms of stuff. And you have Absolute Wonder Woman, which was the 5th highest selling comic of 2024.
Oh, wait, Nix. Say this out loud, please.
Oh.
Call her
Next.
Wonderless Woman.
Wonder what the hell happened.
Oh, Jared's gonna steal that.
That flows better. Wonderless Woman.
Jared,
I gotta start flooding King's comments with with Wonderless Woman. That's good. I like that.
Copyright Bunny Girl Nix 2025.
Yes, I will give you credit, Nix. I will give you credit. But there were so many people in his comments on Trending Day calling him despicable, saying, why are the male characters doing more in Wonder Woman than Wonder Woman? Yep. So you know how Detective Chimp found where the Sovereign lives, Nick? His address was left in Steve Trevor's car.
Lame.
So the Sovereign left his address in Steve Trevor's car when he killed him. And I'm like, you are a moron. And then, by implication, guess what? So he gets a knock on his door. He walks to his door, opens the door. Clark Kent is standing there. So the implication is the Sovereign, the secret king of America, talks to a journalist. Yeah. What? Yeah. Again, more flops than someone with ED.
Fake news. That is fake news, Jared.
It's not fake news. I literally read the. Trust me, I had this argument with someone in my comments. I had this argument. Someone
No,
saying,
no,
I'm
making
the
a joke.
context, and I'm like, what it's actually said.
I'm trying to make a joke.
I know. But
So,
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little riled up, as you can tell.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just happy to have you here. So, Johnny Ortiz brought this up, but Jared was too busy ranting. And I've actually had ketchup flavored potato chips, and they're not. I wasn't a fan.
I've had
Yeah, they're
barbecue
kind of not
flavored.
great.
Yeah, barbecue flavored. Ooh.
They
Also,
taste like
the Canadian has a name. It's okay. It's not said often, I know.
okay.
To the Canadian. To the old man.
That's Nix's assassin name. It's like
Canadian.
Say
Did
your
the
name
Canadian
loud
name
and
her
proud
price?
for everyone to hear it.
Nix.
Wait, I just got a great idea. So you know how like John Wick has a name? Canadian Nix. That's your assassin name.
I heard they're bringing the Canadian in.
I'm back.
The way she does it is she has poisoned maple syrup because you know those Canadians, they have to have the maple syrup on their pancakes.
Yeah, no kidding. We actually have.
I've had authentic Canadian maple syrup, and it is as good as they say it is.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Also, poutine is pretty good. I've had poutine.
Yeah, poutine. I couldn't get past my eyes, and then once I ate it, I was like, "Wow, why was I denying myself this? Like this is really good."
Myself, I'm not too big on gravy.
Ah.
So.
Yeah, they have them in droves at Timmy's.
How horrible do you think that new Spider-Man show is going to be? Because I was talking to Lad last night, and I asked him, so what do you think this new Spider-Man show? He goes, it looks so bad.
Oh, yeah. Like,
they literally... So apparently Civil War happened in that movie because there's a shot in the trailer of, like, Ant-Man holding War Machine. I'm like... So it's in the MCU, but it's not in the MCU. Man, they changed their minds more than James Gunn.
I think they've come out and said that it's not actually in the MCU anymore. They've taken it out. Because remember, this is supposed to be freshman year. This is supposed to be basically the 6 months in between when he got his powers and when Stark came to go, which is actually not a bad idea for a show, to be honest.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Then they have scenes that basically took place in the MCU with the Civil War thing, and I'm like, then take that out.
There might be remnants of, because, I don't know. Because for one, Spider-Man would not be using that, if this is post-Civil War, he would not be using that kind of suit.
Still, I'm like,
The animation looks like crap. Like, the art style kind of looks fine. Like, they're going for, like, a modern version, like a Ditko aesthetic, which I'm actually all for. But, like, the animation, it looks terrible. Like, the hip-hop music with Spider-Man, this is Miles. I can maybe see it, but it's not. Like...
Yeah, I heard hip-hop music, and all of a sudden I thought I was watching a trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, you just triggered Chris's PTSD.
Oh, my God.
Who thought that was a good idea is what I want to know.
There's something new. They went to a new low. So they have a Shinto priest in the game, but they gave him, and this is what I'm hearing from my my Japanese mutuals on Twitter, gave him a Buddhist name.
Oh, dude, do you know how much freaking effort we put into researching the whole Shinto religion? Like,
oh, yeah. Like, remember that one statue that had the broken Torii gate? Like,
yeah,
literally, they could have put swastikas all over that statue, and it would have been less racist.
They're swinging off a swastika.
We chose Taka Yamauchi as the Shinto priest that was to be the protagonist because Shintoism or Shinto religion is 100% intrinsic to Japan. So this was an undeniable. You could locate him. Do you know how much research we did for that? Oh, that pisses me off.
What you don't know is that in the background, there's like a column of fire shooting out from Chris's head right about now.
Well, it shows how like pants on head, like I can't even say it, but like it shows how wasteful, like they literally had, like, we were out there, they paid for me to fly out there to like live there and work there, and they don't even freaking use any of the shit that we like we went to the damn temples, we talked to the people, like.
Well, don't worry, Chris. This game is probably gonna flop.
Like, hey, Chris, how would you feel is if you're looking through the game and you see a painting and it's literally based off of a picture that you shot?
Well, dude, like
That's when you start killing.
okay, so like I can understand they wanted a black thing, black hero in there because everything is like, we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are living through the Africanized period of pop culture. But like, what really pisses me off is you just screwed up the Shinto religion. Like that is a no. Like you can
No,
nuance.
you never do that.
Like,
Yeah,
why
imagine,
can't they
like,
do an Assassin's Creed in Africa, like Congo, Kenya?
Yeah, starring
Like,
Ryan
like-
Gosling.
This guy.
Well, because here's why, Nick. Remember when Resident Evil took place in Africa and people complained about all the black zombies?
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember
And
that.
they had like one of the best female black characters ever.
People will find something to complain about. Which,
all right, you guys keep going. I will be right back. You already pissed me off.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Chris, that this should be a layup because how long have people been asking for an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in Japan? For forever. And
this
it
is
should
their
be a
Hail
layup
Mary.
because if there's one time period and one like group of warriors that work with the Assassin's Creed formula, it's just when you screw it up so badly and to a certain degree irreversibly, it's like, what are you doing?
Well, what's really asinine, which really friggin' boils my balls here, is the fact that like they sent people out and like, here's the thing is, we weren't even working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, we were working on some shitty mobile game that they like, contracted us out to go do. And we went through like autistic levels of research to make sure that we didn't piss off, Japan, basically, because this was like back in when Ezio's story where games were still out. It was like, oh, when are we going to get Assassin's Creed Ninjas? When are we going to get the ninjas in Assassin's Creed? So it was like, okay, we finally get to tackle this, like as the mobile guys. We get to do this, and we get to test the waters to see how awesome this is going to be. Mm-hmm. And part of the process of doing that was we literally had to like get through this vetting process, the gauntlet of making sure that this fit in the Assassin's Creed timeline. Because if it didn't, then they'd be like, dude, this is anachronistic. This conflicts with other characters. And they have this huge canonized Bible of their timeline. So every writer that writes the comics, every writer that writes the stupid movies, the TV show, like whatever the hell they did, all have to adhere to that shit. Because if they don't, then suddenly Ezio is now in Spain, but he's also in France at the same time, or this Indian character from Brahmin was doing, something to a Maharaja, but at the same time he was over in like Saudi Arabia. It's like, no, that's, you have to get everything consolidated and canonized. And we went through that. Like, it was like you like limp across the finish line. You're like, oh, thank God, we finally got something through. Because we were throwing stuff at these guys left and right. And they were like, no, we don't want the piece of the Eden of the week. No, we need a better story. And I'm like, okay, fine. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right. Wow. What a hell.
But Chris, I gotta ask, how often do you watch those Vidocs about Assassin's Creed and see people you absolutely hate and go, you?
Yeah. All I know is if I were Patrice Deslitz, I could understand why a studio mysteriously burned down. They fired that guy twice.
Oh, God, twice?
Yeah, they fired him for creative differences, and then later on, they acquired the studio he worked at, and then let him go a second time.
Wait, is he the guy that you kill in Watch Dogs? There's like that. It's like I think it's like Assassin's Creed 4, and then he goes to Chicago,
Yeah.
and then you actually kill him, and it says he's a Abstergo employee. Like there's a cross between Watch Dogs because Watch Dogs is in the Assassin's Creed universe.
Yep,
And
yep. Yeah. Well,
So, here's the tweet I found from a Japanese user, and it's translated by Google Translate, so we gotta take some of this with a little grain of salt,
Okay.
because it's not great. But it says Assassin's Creed, a collection of unusual names and characters. Shinyo, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm saying that's how you pronounce it. Fuck it. A priest with a Buddhist name. Yaya-kun, the mysterious sumo ninja. Tokubei, who wanders around naked to make Westerners laugh. And the legendary weapon, Destroyer Samurai Helmet. And yeah,
What?
on Yasuke, they've got this legendary piece of armor called Destroyer Samurai Helmet.
Oh yeah, there is a weapon that the samurai or I should say the bushi used that it looks like a jit, which is a one, like you know what a jit is, or a sai, like Raphael's sai.
Oh, sai, yeah.
But only instead of it having two prongs, it had one, and it was a very dull, slightly curved version of Raphael's sai with one extra horn, or just one horn.
This
and
game
it was
was
literally
PC
called. No, this weapon was literally, I can't remember the Japanese translation of it, but it literally meant helm breaker.
Okay.
And then there really is a weapon that was like that. But so maybe that's what they're referring to. That is a legit weapon.
Could be.
No, this is like a helmet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called.
So you're
helmet?
saying they have the helmet and the rings of power?
So it's like a
But again, I would like to emphasize that I legit didn't watch season 2 because I forgot it was coming out. I saw the tweet saying the season's over, and I'm like, oh, that came out?
But yeah, this is like, you screwed up when the Japanese are coming out and being like, yo, the fuck?
Well, did they start going after that one historian that Ubisoft was using before for
debunked him.
Yasuke?
Yeah.
Oh, I think even the Japanese government themselves were getting involved in the debacle.
I think it's safe to say I don't think that game will end up being sold in Japan. That's for sure.
Or it's not going to sell well.
Or it's not going to sell well if it does. I don't think that game is going to sell well, period.
Did I ever tell you, when I was in Akihabara, we went to this video game store and we saw all the Nintendo and the Sony and the Sega games all up on the shelves. And then there was this bin in the back of the store, and it had a sign on it that said Western dog shit. And that's where all the Xbox games were. And I guarantee you that's where they're going to put this
No, literally they get their shipment in and they just empty it into that bin straight there.
It's like, okay, Tom King comics, Brian Michael Bendis, Joss Whedon movies, The Eternals, anything by Taika Waititi.
One thing I noticed is that the sumo wrestler, ninja or assassin or whatever, has a strangely feminine face, and I don't know why. And it bugs me. But
wasn't that? I also saw someone kind of interesting. Did you notice that in the most recent poster they shortened Yasuke?
Yeah, and there's this like little kid there from Up.
They Finn from Star Wars him.
Well, that, and they put like this weird little fat kid
who looks like a kid from Up. I think
it looks like he's the star of the game.
Is going to be the modern day protagonist. So I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, damn it, Porkins!
Is it just me, or is this game, or is talking about this game before it comes out probably going to be more fun than actually playing the game?
Yeah, I saw so they did a demo and the demo glitched on them. So they yes. So like, here's the thing. So they showed the game and like all the different components of like the meta game and all that stuff. And you have a base building component, which is fine because you got a base building component in I think Brotherhood or whatever, where you did the different little thing. But like this one, like you can like you like, it looks almost like The Sims. Like you put down on a grid like all your buildings, and then you can go into the buildings and put your own decorations in. And they were showing like the guys like putting in like different like Shiba Inus or like other like dogs and puppers and cats and stuff. And it's like when I think of Assassin's Creed, I think of a sim you know town building game where I put dogs and puppies and cats and things.
You've
Like,
never played, but Chris, you've never played Dark Cloud.
It's Animal Crossing.
that's what it looked like. It felt like Animal Crossing, and I'm just like, what Assassin's Creed fan wants to play with this crap?
Now
Like,
I want KK Slider to appear.
Well, Chris,
in the Japanese instrument.
remember, I'll tell you what it's the Assassin's Creed. It's the millions of Assassin's Creed fans on Tumblr.
yeah. Well, that's what all these games are for. They're for the developers and not for an actual market.
And you wonder why games are collapsing.
Yeah. I mean, like that, and they showed like, so they showed like a scene where like the guy's walking through his little town or whatever, and there's a little Shiba Inu that walks by, and there's like a button prompt to pet the dog. So he walks over to it, but they're both on like the stairs, so it's like an uneven whatever, and it just, like the button just goes away. The characters just kind of like, I don't want to say they T-pose, but they pretty much just like straighten up and stiff in place. And then the review or the person that was piloting like tries to like brush it off, like, oh yeah, that didn't happen. Like, yeah, that's a big bug. Like, how the hell did that get into like the release build?
So Ubisoft did actually release a screenshot from the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I have it for you guys here.
Oh no. Do we have to?
Yes, we have to. There you go. This is a new feature of the game. KK Slider can appear in your village.
He's got a shamisen. Oh man.
Oh god.
I'm sorry. I had
Is it
to.
weird that actually sounds like something that would actually be in the game?
Yeah.
They love that. They would love that.
But that's money and time and resources they spent developing that instead of like making their combat look good. And, like,
Because it looks jumpy as hell.
oh my god!
Or even better. They released a new update to Animal Crossing. Yasuke's a villager.
Dude, wait a minute! He just robbed everybody. What's going on? Now he's killing all the. Oh god!
No, and
Why is pop music all of a sudden playing in the background?
also everyone's like, wait, why is Yasuke a monkey?
Oh wait! He's the worst assassin because wherever he goes, even when he's in sneak mode, it raises the volume on the pop music.
Oh.
I'm like,
Well, you know what Yasuke means in
idea?
Japanese.
Wait,
Where's
right?
that terrible music coming from?
Hang on a second. Who thought that would be a good idea in an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in feudal Japan to all of a sudden have pop music play in the background? I get
It's like
because
rap.
Ubisoft is probably secretly racist and thought that the black character should have pop music playing in the background, but that's not okay, guys.
Yeah, well, dude, that's the thing is like the most racist people you'll ever meet are like the white liberals. You know, like everybody else is honest
And the
about
French.
these people.
And the French.
Yeah, oh mon dieu. Yeah,
The most racist people ever are white people and French people.
there's only two things I hate in this world: racism and the Dutch.
Wait. No. Here's the line. There are only two things I hate in this world: people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to play this. This is gonna get us dinged, but it's too funny. It is way too funny not to do.
It won't last. Brothers and sisters are natural enemies, like Englishmen and Scots, or Welshmen and Scots, or Japanese and Scots, or Scots and other Scots. Damn Scots! They ruined Scotland!
You Scot.
I'm sorry. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut that out later, but I don't care. It's just way too funny.
Mm-hmm.
Damn Scots.
So Jared, when you were doing that bit, that you reminded me of that. So, Yeah, so just like there's a SpongeBob clip for everything, there's a Simpsons clip for everything.
Yeah.
On a happier topic, though, since Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's been run to the ground. It's nothing.
I can't wait to watch it fall apart.
Neither
I
can
mean,
I. But has
some
anyone
people-
seen what Street
Sorry, go ahead.
Fighter's been up to?
No.
Oh, with my was it
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Journey.
What are they
They
doing?
released her casual outfit. Oh my goodness, my girl is so back.
I need
Giggity.
pictures, please. Pictures.
Jiggle
Pictures
physics.
or it didn't happen.
Wait, so Mai, is that an SNK character or something?
Yes, she's a
Yeah.
guest character in Street Fighter 6. Mai Shirano,
Oh.
Shiranui or whatever.
Oh god.
That's
Right,
two King of Fighters characters they have in this game.
Yeah, but
Didn't Train Spot it say it while being Scottish? I mean, possibly.
It's not Scottish, it's crap.
her casual wear, though, it is wow.
I think that's her default costume is the one where she's got the girls out on front deck and she's wearing
She's got the girls out.
Yeah.
So
Like her default costume, like I don't think this is her default costume.
Oh God!
Floating like a butterfly, singing like a bee.
Oh man!
Yeah, that other one. Yeah, that one in the background. I think that's her
My
default.
preview of Mai is gonna be a little bit.
But yeah, no, she's got like a white tank top and pink sports shorts on for her casual wear.
They
Oh,
know what
nice.
they're doing with that pose.
Oh, they know what they're doing with Mai in general.
Yeah.
See,
that's a
my
word
thing
default.
is, have you seen the women from like that Capcom Monster Hunter game?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's I think. Oh god, we need the new Monster Hunter game. Let's see here. Chris, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like Monster Hunter. Oh, God, I hate how they always give it like some weird, like
Monster Hunter Wilds.
something like that. Yeah.
But this new costume has only just been announced, and there is already so much fan art of it.
I love
Oh,
that.
I'm sure there is.
I was like, thank you, internet.
So, Nyx, feast your eyes.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Monster
why-
Hunter Wilds. They're bringing sexy back.
So why are Asian developers like? Again, like, doesn't this like make you question like the deliberate?
Oh, look at even her. Like, she's like a quote unquote person of color. Yeah, she looks kind of cute.
Yeah, the nerdy girl that still smokes show. Yeah. It's like what was that movie? She's All That, where it's like, oh, I'm the dorky girl. It's like, yeah, all you take off your glasses. You're now freaking. What is it?
Look at this. Like even the black girl's cute. Like everyone is beautiful here. Everyone.
Yeah, Asian developers, man,
They love women.
yeah, and it's like
We all love women.
this isn't like some forbidden secret. You know what I mean? Like I don't like. Yeah, you make the characters attractive, and people will want to look at them. That's why they're attractive. Like,
Exactly. That's why people will actually. That's one of the things I keep hearing and seeing about Marvel Rivals. The character designs are on point.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of the fan art,
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
go.
Yeah, see, casual wear. We are no piss off, Siri.
we're back, baby. We are back. Now I want to see a dead or alive character. Like I want to see Kasume.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter 6. Like imagine that like Kasumi in Street Fighter 6, like a dead or alive character. That would be wild.
Oh,
Honestly, yeah, because like what's been going on with them is just that's a travesty.
yeah. they
Yeah,
got
a
the
series
defensive
built.
high.
Oh, they're
built
kind
off
of like
Goonie.
our daughters. No. Why would you make a game where you could put them in skimpy ass bikinis
Yeah.
and like
well,
Money
sir.
outfits.
jiggle
well, sir.
around?
Well, sir, I would like to have sex with your daughter, so I'm sorry.
Money?
Here's $70, and also here's another $30 for the swimsuit DLC. I'm gonna go have sex with your daughter. Okay, thank you, sir.
Dude, Johnny Ortiz. You mean they don't have to look like Deborah Wilson?
Oh God, Jared,
yeah, she's in like everything.
Jared, what's your thoughts?
Oh yeah, is Deborah Wilson the voice actor who plays like Amanda Waller in
Yes.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, she was on Mad TV.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do know. So she's in practically everything.
Honestly, I like her
good.
as a voice actress. She's freaking and on Mad TV she was awesome. But the fact that she's in everything and it's like, what the hell, man? Like oversaturation.
It's like the Johnny situation where like he's in everything.
Yeah, or Nolan North as every voice in every video game. Like
Jared, say the line.
He's even Superman in Suicide Squad.
God.
Yeah, Johnny and Bosch, like he's in everything.
Yeah, I told you.
Or Jennifer Hale.
Well,
and she makes everything better.
Yeah, I was about to say, like you're complaining.
I was gonna say though, Johnny on Bosch is an actual prolific voice actor, and the people he plays, like his voice, fits the character.
And I think Deborah Wilson is a great VA.
Great.
I think Deborah Wilson is a great voice actor.
Yeah, I do too. I got no problem with her. It's just the fact that she's not a smoke show, and they put her in every freaking like female role, and it's like, really?
But also, they want their characters to look exactly like her, and it's like, well, then what's the point of having
Jared, I have a voice actor?
Yeah,
I have a question for you, Jared. So you know how they're getting ready to release Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah.
What if it was announced that there's going to be a voice that Samus is actually going to speak in the game, and it was announced Jennifer Hale is returning to voice Samus?
I'll watch on YouTube.
Oh, you mean like other M?
It's not worth it for me to buy an entire console because I'm not that big of a Metroid fan.
But what if the Master Chief Collection, they do a special Halo Switch edition?
She already plays a Halo character, and I can always play it whenever.
But a Halo edition Nintendo Switch.
Why would I want a Nintendo edition a Nintendo Switch if I'm not going to probably play most of the games on the Nintendo Switch?
Gosh, darn it. Defeated by logic.
There's a limit to what I'll do. Case in point, I won't buy anything that has Tom King's name on it.
I mean,
you won't do that for a Klondike bar.
Yeah.
But Jared,
I won't do that for a penny.
Jared, would you do it for 2 Klondike bars?
That's a good question. What?
Would you read this Tom King book for a Klondike?
Well, actually,
Jared,
you know what?
If you buy one Tom King comic, I will give you a 6-pack of Klondike bars.
No. You know what I did learn is that if you can get someone else to buy it for him, Nick will play literally any game. I got him to play Suicide Squad.
Thank you so much.
Wasn't Gotham Knights good though?
Yeah, like it's just
enjoyable. It's not great, but it's
Did
fun.
I not say out of the 2 that's the one that I think I might actually like?
Yep, you did.
So yeah, you know, and that's I actually made it a point of telling you that. So there's nothing else I can admit when I'm wrong.
Like when you were wrong that they wouldn't bring Batman back to life in Suicide Squad. Back to life.
It was a clone.
It wasn't that.
Even though, here's what I'm gonna say: people that are saying that was a retcon because of the backlash are incorrect because they in the base game they set it up that the Justice League are clones.
But did we get any new Kevin Conroy lines?
No, we did not. It's all in that. That I think is because the game's budget got cut. The fact that it's in a motion comic ending. That I'm sure.
But I do want to point out that since they're all clones, that means Diana's the only one to have died, and she died for basically nothing.
There's any number of ways they could bring Wonder Woman back to life.
That's true, but it makes her sacrifice pointless. If
I mean, can we all agree? No matter what interpretation, the game was poorly thought out, poorly planned, and just a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you that. And is the clone thing kind of a cop out? Yeah, it is. But by the way, I am one of the few people that was calling it from the very beginning that they were clones, including the late comic historian.
All right, we'll give you
Rest in
that.
peace.
Yeah. Yeah, because they make it to they practically tell you this is not right, and we're like, yeah, for a lot of reasons, but still.
Yeah, it is a massive cop out, and then like, also like the way they killed him, even with him being a clone, it just feels even more disrespectful somehow.
Yeah.
Not only that, but that means that a clone
You
was
know what
who
I said
killed
today?
Robin.
No, I'm convinced that they didn't kill Robin. If I don't see a body, I don't say he's dead. By the way, so you know what I put on my Twitter today? I said that Tom King's Wonder Woman is about as disrespectful to Wonder Woman as Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League was to Suicide Squad. I mean, to the Justice League.
So I guess it is official. Until they release these mysterious Kevin Conroy lines, his last official voice of Batman is from Crisis, right?
Yep.
And as corny as those lines are, I'll take that over Suicide.
Well, let me put it this way. No, even if they release those lines, the last recorded, the last release. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't be the last release. But technically, the last official release, like in a completed product, will still be Crisis.
I mean, they could turn it into a animation thing if they really wanted to.
They could. I don't think they're gonna touch. I do think. Here's how I know they brought him back because it's like if they do a Justice League game after this, you kind of need the Justice League to be alive. They can't keep them dead, and I think is my theory. And I was talking to Talati about this. The theory is that at least for me, the plot of the Justice League game, because we do know that they're making another DC game, is going to be the Justice League trying to revive Diana.
Okay.
Or at least that'll be a
I still
subplot
maintain setting this in the Archiverse is completely unnecessary.
Bad idea.
Because there's so much baggage, there's so much lore. Just reboot it. Like, they should have just rebooted it and start clean.
If you just make it a game that's like the Justice League or evil in this game, I don't think you would have had some backlash, because still it would be the last time Kevin Conroy voiced Batman. But if it's not Arkham Batman, because that's the part that's like compounding the sin for people.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing is bring back the Arkham Origins voice actor.
Which that's probably what they'll do if they do another Batman game that takes place after Suicide Squad, which they'll probably do.
But yeah, I just think it's I don't know.
I just wanted to rub it in live on air that I was right and Nick was wrong.
Fine, you win this round. But yeah, let's wrap this thing up. We've been going on fairly long. So we're gonna kind of do our go arounds. Nix, what you got going on? Where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter, and if you follow me at Twitter, you can find my Twitch. I'm streaming Honey Pop.
Yeah, apparently you've been kicking butt on that. So
yeah.
All right, Chris, what about you, sir?
Well, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be on any other streams before the end of the weekend, but I guess hold on. I have a link to my pre-launch page for Infinitale Chronicles #2, which should be launching hopefully soon. Nice. I'm still kind of at the mercy of my artist, but yeah, we're hopefully we'll be getting it out in like a month or so. And yeah, it's been several years in the making, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting this one out.
Oh, definitely. And Jared, who is your daddy and what does he do?
His name is not Tom King, that's for sure.
Tom King isn't Jared's daddy, that is confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, doing CLD night, obviously. Tomorrow for movie night, we're doing The Long Halloween, parts 1 and 2. Britt and I are then gonna go live and discuss how Superman and Wonder Woman's relationship is similar to that of Hawkman and Hawkgirl. And then the week after that, we're reviewing Superman and Wonder Woman Earth 1. Remember, Wonder Woman Earth 1 is the one where Grant Morrison gave the Amazons orgasm guns.
What?
It's got so the Nazis invade Themyscira, of course, and the Themyscirans shoot them with guns that make them all orgasm. Isn't that the most Grant Morrison thing you've ever heard?
What?
Literally, that's what it is. It was a deleted idea, but still, I was like,
so
oh, God.
if you're hearing that noise, that is Nyx furiously typing, seeing where she can find that gun.
Yeah, but
No,
anyway,
I-
yeah,
what?
exactly.
What?
she's googling sharper image. But anyway, so besides that, next week I'm gonna talk about why Wonder Woman means a lot to me, and then obviously I'm gonna be tweeting the crap out because Nick, I've been going for 34 days so far, tweeting out a tweet about I'm tweeting this every day until Tom King leaves Wonder Woman.
Committed. I respect that.
I've done it for 34 days in a row. I haven't
Don't miss
day.
your streak, brother. So
No, I'm
so
not.
tomorrow we'll be doing extra credit plays, continuing the Breath of the Wild. You guys have been really showing up for that, and I really do appreciate it. Then tomorrow at 8 we are doing the podcast extra credits. We're talking about why we love Sonic. Gonna have Melee K, Vaughn Coleman,
Sonic,
and Nyx will be there, Caster, and all the rest of the people. And yeah. So, thank you for showing up, everybody. This was a really great episode. Thank you, Jared. It's good to have you back, brother. And this has been Nick from the Phoenix Press. Remember, I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it.